All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
I was gonna do it, and I was like,
Sorry,
I'm
Noah.
embarrassed. Like, you know when you,
Yeah.
you know when you're about to do something, and then you just
you're
all
like,
of a sudden
oh.
you get embarrassed.
Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't know. That's how I felt about that. It's
something
usually
I'm
something I would
embarrassed.
not get embarrassed about, but it happened.
That's okay.
All right, ready? Mm-hmm. Welcome back to Because We Got High with Rhea, Kelly, and Bree. This is episode 13, letter
13.
M. We got murder, magic, and money. We will
money,
be
money.
getting all to that, of course, and a little more in the intro I want to talk to you guys about. I got a big idea
Ooh.
that happened while I was
think I know this idea. Keep
steaming
going.
some lettuce, and it's a
Okay.
big idea, and I want you guys to collaborate with me. But first, I want to talk about our presenting sponsor, which we love. They are near and dear
Hell yes.
to our hearts, and you guys got to hop on the train. I got an idea.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
I got
hear
an
it.
idea.
hear it.
Let's hear it.
I got an idea
For you.
today. Bree
Tell us.
hated
Yeah, she
every
hated
second
it.
I
of
was
that.
like, can
Hated
we stop
it.
singing?
She
please?
Never.
hates
Come
when
on.
we break
I'll
out
never
into song.
stop.
I hate it.
And now
Lay it
when
on
I
us.
break out into song, I'm like, fuck, Bree would hate this.
Every time.
I
I've
can't
started
stop
to,
myself.
I have to keep doing it. Like, that's just part of my life, you know?
Right.
That's just part of my life.
It's
who you guys
it's
are.
nature.
Pitch us your idea, because
Okay.
it is good. And I am excited to hear you pitch it.
Here's the idea. Noah, listen up, because I want to know if you think it's a good idea too. A sitcom about doormen. And now I know Seinfeld has done an episode about the doorman. I've seen the episode before.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Sweet Life of Zach and
Yeah.
Cody,
Yep.
but that is not about doormen.
That's more like bellhop stuff,
Right.
right? There
Like-
is also, I meant to say this yesterday, there is also a show that goes behind the scenes with like cater waiters and like people who like, I don't know, cater parties and stuff. And that's a similar vibe, but doorman is
It's doorman
Untapped.
because this idea came to me because Kelly said that she overheard my
Mm-hmm.
doorman having a conversation with somebody about how a woman didn't want to spend the night with him, and I was like, wait
Yes.
a second, my doorman gets puss, like my doorman is
And he was like
in
a
it,
doorman
like
fox.
my
And
doorman,
and your doorman was
fox.
like, it was like not your cutest doorman. Like, it was not your cutest doorman. And I happened to hear it. Like he was like talking to somebody else being like, yeah. And like, I said to her, you know, I planned on staying over tonight. And she just seemed like she didn't realize that I planned on staying over. And I was like, oh shit, he's getting like the boot. Like how embarrassing. But yeah. He
And then I was
getting
like, wait a
some puss.
second, doormen have lives.
Yeah.
Like they
Have
don't
lives.
just like, you know, like your dog.
What?
like your
What? Like your dog?
I know what you're saying.
Oh,
It's
like
like
you
when
don't
you
think
leave
about-
your house, it's like, what
Yeah.
do they do?
No, no, no.
Yes,
like,
yes.
No, like your dog, in a sense, where when I said that, they're only a small part of your world, but you are their everything. Like
That's so demeaning.
Like that's like
doorman,
you know, like
the doorman.
In my world, the doormen are so not little to me. They're just a little
They're
part
just
of my
there
life.
for
You
what?
just see him for
I
like, oh
see them
hey,
in
see him in the morning,
passing.
see him at
One
night.
hello.
See, hello, how are you? They say, hi, Maria, have a good night. Hey, Maria, have a good morning. And we just do that song and dance every single day.
Yeah.
What is happening in their lives when I'm not around? You know, like they.
And what are
they
their
live
relationships with every
each
other
other? Are
person?
they
Yeah.
fucking in the building?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are the
Definitely.
women doormen fucking
Sue?
the- that is my doorman.
I know.
I mean my doorwoman. And I swear to God, if she's
have, like,
listening to
100
this,
door people.
Imagine my doormen are listening to this.
No, I would die for that. I would die for that. I had a really good doorman once named Omar. Shout out to him because he actually might listen. He used to like Barstool, so he might be cool. But he was the nicest, most attentive man on earth. Just so sweet, so happy to see me. Always like give me packages whenever the fuck I wanted. Like just ready to go with like a bellhop cart if I needed it. Just like so attentive, so good. And he was like a cool guy. And he would occasionally talk about music and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, what's your life outside here? Like you don't just live here like me.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
weird.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, they go home and they have lives.
Yeah.
Like I wanna write. And I was thinking, is this a serious show? Is it a dangerous show?
I feel like
I
it's
think
like
it
a
could be
Sex
silly.
in the City, but it's dormant.
but it's
Yes.
doormen. Like just a
Yeah.
sitcom about doormen.
Yes.
And I think
Are there like rivalries with other doormen?
Probably other buildings.
Other buildings.
Other
Nicer
buildings.
buildings.
Like,
They're
they're
like
like,
buildings.
looking across.
yeah,
the
yeah,
street.
like
Yes.
those fucking guys. Yeah.
Yes.
like
They
they
have-
have
Yes.
uniforms are like they have better uniforms.
Yes,
than
yes,
us.
and,
Yeah,
they talk,
yeah.
and they see who greets people better, the way
Yeah.
they open the door.
There
Like,
should be
there's
there
so
should be
many
like
different
two
Story,
buildings.
they count the tips.
There should
Yeah.
be like two buildings next to each other that are kind of similar, where it's like friend doormen, and then there should be one across the street that's like a bougie building where they have to wear the white gloves and stuff, and they're like, oh, those douchebags over there.
Right,
Like, those
yeah.
are the
One's the
rivals, but they're still
cool-
friends over here. There's
And then,
rivals.
like when the
across street.
holidays come around, it's all about like how much they get tipped and everything.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
who gets tipped more,
And who's doing more
and
to
who's
get
decorating
tips, like
more
what
the
they're
lobbies,
doing.
Who's
like
getting
what
the
Wait, have you,
lobbies
most
are
have you
better.
guys watched that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where he like, he's like, oh, give half of this tip to the other guy.
Yes.
And then he doesn't give it to the other guy, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's funny.
So many different storylines with doormen.
Yeah.
You guys are helping me right now. It's
Yeah.
like this
can't
is
wait.
it's
We're
kind of
writing
a
it.
genius idea. I
think
can
it
see it
is.
on Netflix
For sure.
and I'm gonna write it. I think.
I like that, and I think once that takes off, once it becomes super popular, the show, I think we can start doing the reality TV spin-off version where it's real people. It's real
Yes.
people. But we need to have the show in place first because we don't want to lean on reality
Listen,
TV.
we can do doormen.
Uh-huh.
We can do waitresses. We can
Waitresses
do.
would be good.
There's so
Waitresses would be
many
good.
flight attendants.
Flight attendants.
Flight
would
attendant
be
is good, but that. Like there are some shows like that. Like there was that fucking Haley Cuoco show. It was just
Yeah.
flight
Yeah,
attendant.
but that
It's
was
like
like
there's
a
reality of flight
the
attendants.
one
Yeah,
of,
real
yes,
deal.
that would be nice. Yeah, all these are kind of just like below deck, but you know,
Right, but
Doorman.
scripted.
but
Doorman
scripted,
is-
which
I guess,
which
but the
I like.
doorman one is
The
different.
doorman one I think is different, and it's also way better.
I had so many
than all the
people
other
in my
ideas.
DMs being like, Seinfeld did an episode. They already did this. It's
Oh,
like
whatever.
Seinfeld is not about doormen.
Did you see? I
They
remember.
had one episode about the
Yeah,
doorman.
one.
It's not a full sitcom.
I
No.
recorded on
Full
top of
sitcom
your
of doorman.
on top of your
What
thing.
are
Did you
the-
see that?
I see. There's yes, I did. That was perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so how many doormen are there?
I think what would the main? So there would be like 4 main
I
doormen.
think 4 main doormen. I say
and then rivals, but like small characters.
yeah, 1 woman
Yeah.
and 3 men.
Yeah.
because that's
So, like,
my
always-
dorm-
like, always
that's,
sunny.
that's how it goes at
That's-
my apartment.
No, true. Also, though, it's like always sunny, but doorman. Like it's a
Right.
little bit like that
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
in a good way. But meaning like
Maybe a couple
there are
of them are
4 or
roommates.
whatever, but there have to be
It's like New
people
Girl.
that work in the building. Yeah. There have to be people that work in the building that are like not cool. You know, like there has to be like the
Some
manager.
of them live in like a lot of them live in the building if they're nice, right? I think.
No,
If there's a
No?
lot of apartments,
I mean, maybe
no, like, yeah.
nobody that I've ever known. They always would have to like commute. I know that
Oh, really?
I know that one of my doormen, she was like the manager of the building. She wasn't a doorman, and she would talk about how she would like commute from Harlem and stuff. And I was like, oh damn, that seems far.
yeah.
But
So what about now? It's about the sitcom is about doormen, but
Mm-hmm.
what about a show written from the point of view of the doorman, about the people that walk in and out?
so like a monologue.
And
He's
it's
got like
almost
an inner
a
monologue.
one camera show,
I would like that.
and it's just on the desk of the doorman and the lobby, and shit only happens in the
that
lobby.
would be interesting.
That would be cool. I feel like that would be
That
like
could be
a
a good-
docu-series. or
Yes, like a docuseries, like a
something.
good
Maybe like
YouTube
4
show.
long episodes.
Yeah, over time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I'll ask my door people about it.
Yeah, see what's
Hey
up.
guys, can I hook up a camera and just
Yeah.
spy on you
and
guys?
just see what's up. Yeah, I'm
my
sure there's all
job?
kinds of
Can
privacy
you tell me
issues
your
with
real
that.
feelings
Yeah.
about me and like everyone that
Yeah.
works
Right, right.
down
And
here?
I bet they talk shit when people
They
walk
have
by.
to. They do.
Definitely talk
Yeah.
shit.
All the
Definitely.
time. I'm like, what do they think about me?
Yeah. Or if like someone's coming in late at night, they're like, oh, this whore.
Yeah.
She's always out fucking.
Always. I'm always thinking that.
Yeah.
Always.
When we
be
used to
thinking
do
that.
cutting stems really late and
Mm-hmm.
get home really late, and I would come in like looking a little more dressed up or whatever, I always thought like they probably think I'm a stripper.
Yeah, I think I'm two-timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, two-timing my
Yeah,
man, and I'm some kind of
two-timing.
When we
stripper.
did that,
Yeah.
mine was
Escort.
always like dead asleep, and I'd open the door and he'd freak out. Like,
Oh, that's not. He can't be sleeping on. It's late.
It's
at
true.
I don't
night.
My
blame
doorman
them
was
at,
always
like,
asleep. When I came
4
home late,
a.m. or
always
whatever,
asleep.
It's like go to sleep. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
true.
guess so. But what if there's
My
an
doorman
intruder?
they used to be like.
What if there's
What is the
Hey,
door
he
naked?
woke
Yeah.
up when I came
Yeah.
in.
what
Light
if
sleeper?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What if there's a murderer? Now we'll just get right into the topic.
Yeah.
We
What
got-
if there's
we got
a
the
murderer?
3Ms. What if there's a murderer and your doorman is asleep and the murderer gets into the building? Let me know about
I
that.
honestly think about that a lot. Right now, I live in a building that doesn't have a doorman anymore, and I sometimes I smoke a lot of weed in my house, but I sometimes am paranoid when I hear sounds in the hallway because I'm like,
Me
is somebody
too.
gonna come like break down my fucking door? Like,
I
what if
sleep
somebody
with my
happens to
taser,
come through
next to me
My
and
taser's
my
now
doors.
next. It's next to my shit now. Like
Yeah.
I keep it next to my like my
stay
coffee table.
strapped?
I'm
Yeah.
strapped. I got that motherfucking thing on me. I
Under your
always think, no, like literally right next to me. Like,
Like you cuddle with it.
yeah. Yeah.
Like
you
it's
go.
like a dog for you.
Yeah. There you
my
go.
taser.
It's low security, but no, I've kept mine close too. Just paranoia. Like I'm pretty high up. I'm not really like easily accessible. But the people who live above me are. I've like since looked up their packages and looked up their names to see their ages because they're so. I know it's crazy, but like I'm not going to go talk to them. I'm not
shocked at all.
No, but I'm not going to go talk to them. But they're obnoxious. Like they're so annoying. They're always loud as fuck, and they're always like moving furniture in the middle of the night. Like they're doing dumb shit, and I'm like, they must be young. I can hear them playing beer pong. Like they move a table for like an hour and then they play beer pong and I can hear the beer pong. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be like the old bitch that yells about this, but it's also 2 a.m. and it's the middle of the week. So whatever. And I never am yelling about it, but I stalked these people. I found them out and I looked them up. And they're like 3 young girls. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, that makes more sense of them playing beer pong in the middle of the night. I don't think a couple's just
no, it's definitely not a couple.
Yeah, like
definitely
me and Hank at 2 a.m. We're like, all right,
there was a couple.
time.
There
Let's
was
get into it.
a couple up there.
Yeah.
There was a couple up there that was equally as obnoxious, but they moved out, thank God. And when they moved out, they like shook the whole fucking building. Like they're throwing stuff down the stairs. Like it was the most dramatic move out. Not even in like they were fighting. They just were being stupid. Yes.
Oh,
like they were
I
just
hate
being
that.
so.
I hate that I just quoted Friends.
Yeah, that sucks. I wish that you didn't do that.
I want to shoot myself.
I wish that you didn't do
I want to
that.
shoot you.
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, so these girls are fucking obnoxious. But I always hear they're always letting people into the place. And I always think I'm going to get murdered because these bitches are letting people in. They're too busy playing fucking beer pong.
Murder on my mind.
Why are we so scared of being murdered? Do you think
I
it's
don't know.
from watching so much like fucked up TV shows?
Probably.
And just like Law and Order?
Great question, because what do we think is the obsession with murder? Like everybody is very obsessed with murder. People love murder podcasts, murder shows, murder everything, and myself included. Fucking obsessed with them.
I love it.
SVU. Like my mom will watch SVU for the 1,000th time. She's seen every episode
Same.
1,000
NCIS,
times.
love it.
Always.
I'm not obsessed with murder.
No?
I'm act like
obsessed.
murder doesn't really exist in my life, to be completely honest.
Okay. You never listen to like Serial? Did you listen
No,
to
I don't
Serial?
listen to murder podcasts.
You're gonna
When
die
there's a
then.
good documentary, I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch murder documentaries. I think those are very interesting. But I'm not like constantly thinking about murder. I'm not scared of being framed for murder like you are,
Yeah.
Brie.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
scared
right.
of being murdered. Although when I see the statistics, guys,
Statistics.
I drank the positivity.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
morning.
yeah. It
Positivity.
happens. Get your tongue a little
Yeah.
bit.
The statistics online when it says how many times you've passed a murderer on the street.
Oh, damn.
Now when I see a buttoned up gentleman with a trench coat long to his feet
Murderer.
and a briefcase and like perfectly done hair. Murderer. Immediately I saw
Always.
this guy yesterday
It's
walk
Patrick
past
Bateman.
me and he did a double take at me and I was like, he thought about it and said, that's not the one.
Yeah.
Like he looked at me like a piece
Yeah.
of meat and said, I don't want that one. I'm
He
going to
said,
go
nah.
fetch someone
No
else.
eye
Too much work.
contact because then
Yeah.
you're a victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I was like, we just made too strong of eye contact. He's wearing too long of a trench coat and has a briefcase and his hair is perfect.
Yeah.
Murderer.
Wait, you want to know
feel that way.
this crazy TikTok that I saw? This guy picked his first victim. He was never a murderer before. And it was like the inside of a murderer's head. Like, why did he pick his victim? And he was in his car and he was just driving home from work. He was 19 years old, like was in school, normal kid. And he saw this little girl get off the bus and something in his head was just like, I need this little girl. And he followed her home, drove to her driveway, had no clue who was inside of the house, was ready to kill anyone that was inside of the house, killed her whole family, all of her siblings, took the little girl and had her stay under his bed for like 3 years and then killed her.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So it's like you never know if you're going to be a victim.
Fuck.
Like you could be anyone's victim.
That
Holy
just
shit,
And
gave
he
me
was
the
never a
heebie-jeebies.
murderer. And he just killed whole family and took
Oh my
her.
God. It is crazy how like something snaps in your fucking brain. I have a little fact for you ladies. You want to hear the fact? This, in the past 2020, homicide percentages have rose
You didn't
rose
even
30%.
let us answer if we wanted to hear the fact. You said you wanted
I
to hear
know.
the fact and
'Cause
you
I wanted to
started
say it.
reading it.
Because it makes sense to what we're talking
We need
about.
to be able to say yes.
It makes sense to what we're talking
Would we
about.
like
You want to hear the
People
fact?
are
Okay, so
killing.
Yeah, would we like to hear the fact?
I don't know. What's the fact?
Yeah, tell us the fact.
Yeah.
The fact is that
And then we'll
homicides
answer if
have
we want.
risen 30% in 2020 survey of 34 U.S. cities found. So that means more and more people are just murdering. Murderers are coming out of the woodwork.
The balls on murderers.
The balls.
We've
The
been
balls.
talking
How dare they?
about the
How dare they?
balls on robbers because there's been a lot of celebrity break-ins, and I'm like,
ton.
these people got these big ass balls dragging.
Cojones.
They got cojones. I was gonna
Cojones.
say that. And I was like, I don't
Cojones.
even know if that's the right word.
cojones.
You just read my mind.
Yes.
They got big cojones dripping, and they're like. In their head, they are so confident
Yeah.
that they are going to
Their cojones
rob
is
somebody's
dripping in blood.
home, and they are like. And also, murderers are like, I'm gonna murder somebody,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna I may get away with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine having the balls to do that.
I can do this.
Crazy
I
to
can
me.
get away with that.
Right,
Like,
to not overthink
gonna
it so
murder.
much and talk yourself out of it is what's crazy. Like, how do you not overthink it and talk yourself
That's
out of it?
why
Like,
I think
that's crazy.
People say that if you start telling them facts about your life like really quickly, you have a better chance that they won't kill you. It was in a Grey's Anatomy episode
yes,
too.
yes, it was. I guess that was. That's a Grey's Anatomy fact.
Because like, I feel like they don't
It
look at
catches
you
them
as
off
like a
guard.
human or like, oh, you lived a
Yeah.
whole life
Yeah.
and now like
They're just
Yeah.
like, you're a victim.
You're prey.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're
Yeah,
like,
you're a piece of
hey,
meat.
I'm
Like,
Leah,
oh.
I'm from Long Island. I went to Catholic school. I was a pharmacy tech. And they're like, oh, she's a human being.
She had a job.
Oh shit! Shoot. And then he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Did you say pharm attack?
You worked in
Hold on,
medicine?
hold on. You worked in medicine? No fucking way can I murder this smart ass
Not
bitch. There's no
murder
way.
her.
Catholic school? Never.
I would talk about my life and they would be like, perfect victim.
yeah, exactly. They'd be
Yeah,
like, oh,
she's
thank
done
God.
for.
Yeah, no
I'd be like,
accusers.
hi, I'm
written
Kelly.
off years ago.
I'm pretty depressed. And they'd be like, oh, this is a favor for you. That would literally be it. That would literally be it.
Murdering's crazy. You know, Sweden. Oh no, Iceland is the cops don't even carry guns because the murder rate is 0.001 a year.
Yeah, I believe that.
don't
That's
even
also
have
like
guns.
like London. They don't carry in England. They don't carry
sounds-
guns.
yeah,
Like, they have
lovely.
like nightsticks and
I
shit.
want to go to Iceland.
I know.
That sounds beautiful.
Do you guys? This is something I just thought of. Do you think? Because I was thinking about back to the description you just gave of like the buttoned-up man in the trench coat being a murderer. There are so many murderers that I think are hot. Patrick Bateman being number one, obviously. Christian Bale. Do you think that they started to make murderers hot, like depict them as hot, because they wanted to like warn people of unassuming predators? Like, oh, look, it could be this buttoned up guy. Like, it's not just some like psycho on the street running around with a knife. It could be this kind of person. And inadvertently doing that, it now has created like murder fetishes, like shit like that.
I don't think
Like,
Absolutely.
they've like sexualized murderers.
Like,
Low
they're
key.
just gonna pick a hot person to be a movie star.
Well, yeah, because
but-
they're not.
Of course,
But,
but
it's
I
kinda
actually
good
do
to know
think-
that.
But
think-
Patrick Bateman specifically is like, he's got the skincare routine. He's
Yeah,
rich.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
He's like a good looking guy, like on
Right.
purpose.
Yeah,
He's
true.
supposed to be so unassuming. But like,
Well,
I
that's
feel like
what
a
it
lot
is,
of stories
because
are like that.
It's like Ted Bundy, right? Like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these. Ted Bundy was. First
always
of all,
have
though, I
a
don't think
wife.
Ted Bundy's hot at all. I want that on record. Like
He's
when
not.
people
He's hot.
when people say that Ted Bundy was like
a
this
fucking
charming
unibrow.
guy, he's
I
not
think
even
he's hot.
hot.
No.
What?
I think
probably
he's
more
hot.
now that Zac Efron played him.
That's also
Right.
that
Well,
is the
they-
problem.
He also
right.
got compared to Zac Efron.
That
You're
is the
right.
problem. Like I always thought he was like good looking for a murderer, and then Zac Efron played him. and I'm like, now
see,
he's hot in my
I
head.
never even thought. Every time I saw pictures of Ted Bundy, I was like,
like,
"This is
ew.
the charming guy."
Yeah.
No, so I
never
do
know.
understand the meaning behind it. Where like, yeah, that
normal
exists.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that's literally.
But think
serial
about it like
killer
this:
shit.
how many people do we know that aren't that good looking but are so charming that we're like, marry me?
A lot.
A lot. So think about that.
We
so that's
know
what, we
one
don't know
off
Ted
the
Bundy.
top
We
of
never
our
met
head.
him, but I have a feeling if we were to meet him, we would understand. Like and
Like
he's
Pete Davidson?
and he's not even that
Like
bad looking.
Pete-
like
Pete
yes,
Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
I'll say it, Pete
objectively,
Davidson.
objectively ugly. Objectively
Oh,
ugly.
don't call him ugly.
But
'cause he's
objectively,
hot.
but he's hot because why? Because he's charismatic and he's funny and he's cool, and so you forgive like, oh, actually you are pretty good looking. But traditionally, like chiseled jawline, hair, whatever.
He's not a
Patrick Bateman,
traditionally
he's not
good-looking
traditionally
guy.
good
Wouldn't
looking.
call him ugly.
He's generally ugly, but I think that he's I think he's hot. Like I think he's hot. I think he's
That's
hot.
the thing,
in
though,
the
but
same
how
way
can
I
you-
think like Russell Brand is hot. But nobody thinks Russell Brand is hot. You know what I mean? Russell Brand is like
Russell
ugly, but
Brand-
no, to me
I
he's
think
not.
Kevin James is hot, so yeah, I get it.
Kevin James.
Yeah, but
There's another one.
that's
It just
the thing,
it very
though,
much
when-
depends on the personality.
When I
think.
think somebody's hot, I can't even call them ugly because I'm like, I'm admitting they're hot. So how can I call them ugly?
Because you can
Because
admit
I-
that like people to other people in like a general
not
societal
they're not
sense,
traditionally
yes,
good
They're not
looking.
traditionally good
Yeah.
looking.
That's a nice way to say ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
So I
literally
guess,
it.
yeah,
But
ugly.
do you know what I mean? Like so I wonder
That's
the
a
more
slap
they
in the
make
face.
these, the more
Yeah.
they make these like murderers on TV and stuff handsome. It's like, are we gonna like? Would you date a murderer? Like now in my mind, I'm like, oh, if he's a murderer, like,
Would
bro,
kind of be
what's
fun.
like what are the
No!
details of the murder? Like
Because
that's
they-
what I would need to know.
Because it's so crazy though that murderers have like a family and kids, and it's like you murder everyone, but why aren't you murdering them?
Have
So
you
it's
guys
kinda
ever
cool.
seen-
Yeah, like where's your brain? Like, I would take it as like
Where's
a
your
personal
moral
thing. Like,
thing?
where's the like let's hide away
It's
that
like,
murderer part.
I like my wife and my kid, but I'll fucking murder anyone else.
Yeah, like,
It's
that's nuts.
That's kind of thank you.
right, it's sweet. It's like, wow, he's dedicated as fuck to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Your
sorry about
moral
you guys.
thing. Your moral compass.
Your moral compass.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the movie The Stepfather?
Yes.
Oh, maybe. Describe it to me.
Great movie.
Yes.
Penn Badgley
Oh, I love
and Amber Heard.
It's really good.
And
Oh.
Yeah, see,
I've
whenever
seen it.
somebody hears Amber Heard, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
I'm
like
like,
Never
oh,
Back Down,
yeah,
great movie, but
Amber
Amber Heard,
She's crazy.
I don't
she's so pretty
know.
though. She's
Yeah.
not one. She's gorgeous, but she's a fucking
yeah,
nut
I feel
job.
like that's the
What a
whole other
psycho.
conversation.
Too.
But Stepfather, highly recommend that movie. It's about a guy who's like, charming, and this mom who's divorced meets this guy. All of a sudden, he's the stepfather. He's coming into the family, and Penn, he gets a little idea. He's like, this guy's up to something. Turns out to be a full-fledged murderer.
Damn.
And at the end of the movie, they play one of the best versions of a song I've ever heard. You know the song, I can't see me loving nobody but
Was
you.
that Beach Boys?
For all my
But they
love.
play like a creepy version
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
You gotta put that. I'll send you it later. Put that in right
Yeah,
after this.
put
It's
it
like,
in.
I can't see.
It's so
me
I love creepy versions of songs like that.
nobody
Yeah.
but.
Did you guys ever hear the creepy version of Que Sera Sera when American Horror Story, one of the like previews for, I want to say Asylum, like it's that old, but in the thing it was like, when I was just a little girl, you know
No.
that song? It's fucking
think
creepy.
so.
It's creepy on its own. They made it way creepier for American Horror Story, and that's one of my favorite like Go Lucky song turned creepy.
Yeah,
Creepy music.
your eyes went crazy when you started singing that.
Yeah,
So
I love.
felt
It's a
that it was,
weird.
like,
it's a weird song. I'm
song.
gonna probably play it. I like listening to creepy songs though. I like it. It makes me. It gives me chills.
I got another recommendation.
Ooh, tell us.
Livewire, Motley Crue. The
Ooh.
version in the dirt when he's like,
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That
Great.
creepy version is
That's a really good version
too.
Have you guys ever seen? Still on the topic of murderers and unassuming people, have you seen?
Is this
Yeah.
it?
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
It's in the headphones. Yeah. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is it.
It's so creepy.
Really
The Turtles,
good.
by the way, not Beach Boys.
Okay.
And this one starts with an F. The people who sing this one, right?
Filter.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, this is really good. But so the whatchamacallit, the movie I was talking about is called 1 Hour Photo, and it had Robin Williams, rest in peace. And he was a next door neighbor situation to this like family, whatever. But the whole premise of the movie is that he worked at the like pharmacy at the photo stand, so people would go and get their photos developed, and he was like stalking his neighbor family, and he would like double up their photos, so they would get photos developed, and he would take a set for himself and it plaster his walls inside of his house with them. And eventually, like they for some reason had to go over there. They found out he was a murderer. He's keeping people on the walls in the basement, but he's like this little old man, Robin Williams. Robin Williams was
That's
such
like
a good like
Disturbia
creepy.
I like movies
with
like
Shia
that.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Disturbia is so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also
I
another
like
good one.
movies like that. Also, have you guys seen The Lovely Bones?
Yes, creepy. Oh,
That
Stanley
movie scared me
Tucci.
to another extent. Did that make you like scared
Yes,
to be
that was a really
little girl?
a very scary movie.
It scared me a lot to be a little girl, and I watched it so many times.
Yeah.
Like
Me
I
Me too.
really, I can't really watch movies like that alone anymore. I've gotten a new sense of paranoia. Not really sure what it is.
Yeah, you always are saying you don't like scary movies.
It might be the weed. Like I,
Could be.
it might be
that
the
movie
fact.
like actually scares
But
you.
it,
Like, scared
when I
me.
was younger,
It
it
seems so
scared me, but I
realistic.
couldn't
Yeah.
look away. I was like, I have to watch this over and over again
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
a true story.
Yeah.
So it was like,
and they don't even show anything like really gruesome, but
Yeah,
just
but it's
like
just-
you allude to it, and they're
it
in a
lets
little
your
hut under the
the
ground.
imagination, like it lets your imagination really run wild in,
Yeah.
in like a terrifying way.
And that motherfucker's so creepy.
oh, he's so,
So
creepy.
creepy.
And that's Stanley Tucci in
Yeah.
real life.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day on Chicks in the Office, Fran was talking about Stanley Tucci being like a sexy bald man, and I was like, well,
Can't ever look.
Unfortunately.
he played the rapist in The Lovely Bones, and
Yes.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I
Unfortunate.
hate typecasting
I do love him.
people,
I do
and
love
he's
him.
great.
Yeah.
But
Can't
that's
unsee it.
You can't
Can't
unsee
unsee
it.
it.
It's
Can't get
unfortunate.
past it.
Do you guys think you could get away with a murder? And how would you do it if you think you could? Well, I guess do you want to give away your secrets in case you're planning?
Yeah,
on...
I might not do. I might not give away all my secrets again. Like I don't want to like totally take it off the table. Like you never know. But no, I think I have such an inflated sense of self-confidence in that way that I'm like, yeah, of course I could. Like of course I could pull it off. I think that sometimes I get on like a track where I think that I'm the smartest person ever, and I'm like, I'm so fucking smart.
Definitely.
It's just
We know, we read the
delusions of
Notebook.
grandeur. Yeah. Delusions of grandeur.
We're around you.
And yes. And so sometimes I'm like, you know what? I definitely could. But I think I would never murder someone. It wouldn't be a crime of passion because I'm smarter than that. It would have to be like a slow burn, super premeditated situation. Like I would think it out and it would take months. Like it would be,
Like poisoning.
yes, like poisoning or
Part of me
like
thinks you
something.
already started planning a murder.
Like maybe,
too.
like who knows? Like it's theoretically,
nervous.
it's like, who
If I
can,
had
I'm like,
to
yeah,
murder
don't look at my
someone, I'd
notebook.
call Kelly. Like if
Yeah.
I had to murder someone, I'd call you. But I could never.
Because you have to, the whole thing about like being a murderer is you have to have a level head. If I learned anything from Patrick Bateman, it's that. You have to have a level head. You can't act impulsively because the minute you start acting impulsively is when you get caught. And that's how every murder in every movie gets caught. is because they like act stupid, they fuck up, they leave something, people who leave like DNA behind. What idiots! Like wear gloves everywhere. Like if you're murdering, you wear gloves. Like it's just you're crazy.
What if a piece of your hair falls down? Then that's
your hair is all the way up. My hair, I will shave my head if I'm about to
ever
murder
seen
someone.
The End of The Departed?
Yes.
Yes.
Where like Mark Wahlberg, he's like wearing like
Yep.
yeah.
Silencer. Boom.
Yeah.
If you shave your head to murder somebody, you're going to be a suspect because they're going to be like, "Why did Kelly randomly shave her head?"
True, but I would probably wear
Cancer.
wigs. I also think that I would just wear a wig anyway. Like I think I would already have my hair up like in a hairnet and then wearing a wig. To
Okay,
begin with
stop giving your
for the murder.
secrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said, would you be able to murder somebody?
I would think I could, but I'm too paranoid. Like after I committed the murder, I'd be looking over my shoulder. I'd be like, the cops are on to me. I'm driving in my car. I'm like, there's a cop right there. They're gonna pull me over. They're gonna know I'm murdered. I would admit to it. That would be my problem. I would admit.
Do you think that it'd be easier to murder a random person or someone you know?
Someone I know.
I agree. That's why I was like, it'd have to be someone I know. A random person, I think I'd feel guilty because I'd be like, oh, they're coming after me. I don't know what their life was like. Like I can't, I don't know the scope of that situation. I would need to know everything about the person.
Yes.
And I would probably it would probably end up being like my husband or
like
something.
self-defense, or you're just randomly going and killing
No, you're
someone?
just randomly killing somebody.
I'm just like
I
someone has
disagree
done me
with you
wrong.
guys.
Like my husband has been cheating on me, and now his I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the scenario I imagine.
I disagree with you guys. I feel like it'd be easier to kill a random person that maybe I had met individually from everybody separate from my life, because if you kill somebody that is in your life that other people also know in your life, and then they're upset that this person was killed or murdered, and now you're always around these people talking about it,
But then you have insight and you could steer them in
That's what I'm
different
saying.
directions.
You have to control the narrative.
I
That's
guess-
controlling the
I
narrative.
guess that's a good point, but I feel like it's easier to run away from a rando situation where
have
who
no
we would
ties.
even know that you guys even know each other. There's no ties.
That's true.
That's true.
And that's that's Patrick Bateman's thing where he kills like homeless people on the street.
You really
But
love
then-
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, it's just like the only movie
You
that I
really love-
I have to return
American
some
Psycho.
videotapes.
Yeah, I have to return some videotapes. It's just the only movie that I think that movie
relate
does.
to.
Yeah, yes, I think that movie does really good with like the murder part of it.
Yeah.
How they show him living a real life
Yeah.
and then just like slaughtering people every day. Like I think it's the dichotomy is interesting. But
I
I
don't
think that
think-
his thoughts in like murdering random people, they have to be random in that way. Like because you don't know if you killed somebody on the street. That's going to be all over the news, especially depending on who it is. Like it might be like girl slain while running. Like she had her whole life ahead of her. She was valedictorian. She was going to college, and like you accidentally killed her, and you were just killing a random
Yeah.
person. Like I feel like more often than not, that comes back to haunt you more so than like I'm the grieving widow of my husband who just randomly had a heart attack out of nowhere, but I've been slowly poisoning him
Yeah.
for 6 months. You know,
Good point. I don't think I could murder anybody. Definitely not. I would be so nervous that I would tell multiple people about how nervous I am that I murdered somebody.
I'd have to
Because
get it
I
off
do
my
that
chest.
about everything
Yeah.
that I'm nervous about. I have to call everybody that I know and tell them I'm nervous about this situation.
That's true.
Like Noah's laughing because he knows. Like
a
I would
fact.
get a text like thinking it's about the podcast, and
Yes.
it's
Like,
like I just killed someone.
Yes, I just killed somebody.
am
Don't tell anybody.
always texting people about something I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about everything. So that would just add. I'd call everybody in my phone book
Yeah.
and just tell everybody I murdered
That's
somebody.
interesting though. It seems like all of you are saying you wouldn't kill because you're worried about like what would happen after, not because it's like I don't want to.
Oh, no, not because
Yeah.
of the no. That is
yeah.
no.
Well,
Thank you for
I
pointing
mean,
that
no,
out.
I
because
wouldn't
no.
murder
I wouldn't kill someone because I don't think I could bring
Physically
myself
kill
to like
someone?
end someone's life.
Yeah. Oh,
I've
I mean,
been-
great point. No, I
No, that's
agree.
great.
I
That's
agree.
great. That means that you have like a healthy amount of rage. Like I had, like I
No.
said, I've got that
I could kill
underlying
one
level
now.
of
You
rage.
think you could actually like kill somebody though? No consequence. You're given the opportunity to murder somebody. You won't have any
Like you
consequences.
have a
You
gun
don't
to
get
their
caught.
head and they're like
Done.
begging for their life.
Whatever
like,
your-
please.
yeah,
Like,
whatever your
I have
choice
a
is.
family.
Oh
Like
no.
I definitely could. I'd be if I was mad enough at them.
If they
like if
did
they had
something
did something
to
to me,
me,
yeah, me or
yes.
somebody that I love, like if they fuck with my family or fuck with my friends,
Yeah,
I feel like you torture them, like not just
Yeah,
a bullet to the
yeah.
head's too quick. Like
it kind of is. Like it'd be a mental game. It would be a mental game.
If someone drunk drove and killed one of my family members, I would want to torture them and
To
kill
the
them.
face. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather kill a baby or a grandpa?
Oh, wow,
A grandpa
that's,
straight up.
That's really hard.
Baby. Baby. They don't
doesn't
they don't
even
say
know what's
anything. They don't
happening,
know what's
though.
happening.
Honestly,
Grandpa's like,
I would just like. I think it would be like a smothering situation. Like that would be like that because
Of
a
either
grandpa.
one?
Throw
no,
baby-
no.
throw baby
Honestly,
in
of
the
either one,
river.
you're absolutely
Throw
right.
baby in the river or kill your
Baby in the
grandpa.
river. Baby in the river
okay,
is bad.
Here are the two options. Here
Okay,
are the two
all right,
options.
all right, I'm ready.
You could throw the baby, not your baby.
Not
you
your
could throw a
baby.
baby in the
baby.
river, or a grandpa in a nursing home in a wheelchair, and you have to take a gun and shoot him.
Oh, shoot him.
throw the baby in the river, walk away, hands clean.
It's just a random baby I found.
Does the grandpa like know what's happening? He's like,
Is he asleep?
like, does he know
He's
what's
like,
happening?
no.
I love playing chess.
No, because I'm like, I care more about grandparents than I do about babies,
Me
which is hard for
too.
me. So I'm
Babies
like,
suck.
fuck. But it is, I mean, the question is whose baby? Is it a random baby that I just like found that is like, there's something wrong with this baby?
You're walking in Central Park. The baby's just there.
There's a
and you
baby?
think it's a trap.
and I
like
think
the
it's a
apple.
trap. Oh, well, then I'm getting rid of it.
Like
if I think
the
it's a
apple.
trap,
And-
then I'm getting
and
rid of
the-
it.
saw the baby's head like the apple.
The grandpa in the nursing home that's all cute. No.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually stole money from all your family members.
Oh, fuck him then.
And
He's
He's like the
old.
guy in Breaking Bad who's in the
Yes.
wheelchair, like hitting
Yes,
the bell.
yes.
This isn't fair though because the grandpa's bad. Maybe the baby's
the
bad.
baby's bad.
The baby
no,
never
Oh, the
got
baby's a
trapped.
trap. See, the baby's
The
a
baby's
trap.
a trap. The baby has blood on its forehead in
Okay.
the middle of Central Park.
Okay.
You find it.
The baby's a
blood
trap.
on its
Okay.
forehead.
Okay. The baby's like a Satan sacrifice situation. Like,
Yes.
and you're
Yeah.
being used as a pawn, which I could get down with. I could get down with that. But the grandpa thing, he's stealing money, whatever. Like
He stole
sometimes
money from your family
Right.
and fucked your grandma
Okay, well,
while your grandma was with your grandpa.
your other grandpa. Okay,
Your
okay.
other
This is a
But
different
grandpas
grandpa. Oh, it's
are,
not
like,
your.
cute. I feel bad for them. Babies are like annoying and
You know what
stupid.
though? Sometimes they're assholes. And so now let's pivot here. Let's just pretend this grandpa is like, he's old, right? So he's probably like a little bit racist. Well, he's just like a racist asshole. He's stealing money. He's a dickhead.
I'm thinking like Robert De Niro.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, like
I
he's a
was
mobster.
thinking-
He comes in and he's like, I've been waiting.
Yeah,
Like, he
I wasn't
knew-
even
he
thinking
knows
Robert De
we're
Niro.
on the
I was
way.
thinking Ronald Sutherland from The Undoing.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland
yes.
from The Undoing. Like
Same.
he's old.
He's old,
I was
old,
thinking
and he's also a
him
dick.
from The Irishman. Robert De Niro.
Yes.
Irishman,
Yes.
He's also
'Cause he's old
Donald
in that.
Sutherland is such a dick in that where he says you haven't even seen a cocksucker. And he goes on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're a dick.
Cocksucker.
Like you're crazy. We should do that as a scene one of these days.
So what are we deciding on? Because here's my if
I'm
you're
baby
I don't
killing.
know.
I'm
you're killing the baby.
I'm having a hard time
Throwing a baby
just
in the
'cause I
river,
was
somebody else
so
is going to find it.
pro
Though. What
killing
if it
babies
doesn't
before.
die? What?
Yeah, what if it
snap
becomes
its
like
neck
Moses in the
first.
fucking reeds and then he
I'll
parts the sea,
smother
you
it
know?
and
I'm
then
worried
throw
about
it in
that.
the
That's
water.
shocking that you're gonna kill the baby.
It is.
Like,
I would
one,
kill the
you're
grandpa.
one, the baby's innocent. The grandpa isn't. And
True.
two,
No,
the baby
baby's
has a whole
Satan.
life to live. This grandpa already lived his life. Like I
That's
don't
true. Noah's
see.
so noble.
That's the thought. That's the thought I had.
His moral compass is pointing north at all times.
The grandpa has seen a whole lifetime.
True.
He's done
He's lived
for.
his life. He's lived
the
his life.
baby could grow up and get out of this Satan hole.
This
it's
baby
in.
could cure
true.
cancer. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know. That's always what they fucking say. Noah's right here. Noah's like from like the church, whatever. He's a plant from the church, being like that
Definitely
baby
not.
could cure cancer.
You
no
walk
abortions
Okay,
here.
no, don't.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
walk
kidding.
That's
in.
not what I'm
joking.
saying.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You see an old ass man. You know he stole millions of dollars from your family. Your family got in debt because of this
Family's
man, and he
loaded.
also
Yeah.
fucked your grandma. And you're like, you fucked my grandma. You fucked up my grandparents' relationship of 50 years. 50 years was
50
their
plus.
anniversary.
I was gonna say, it was
If
their
he's-
anniversary last week.
If he's this bad of a guy, obviously.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
kill
picking
this guy.
Robert
Yeah,
De
so
Niro.
we gotta kill the old man.
Him, but
The only thing that
if he was
tripped me
just
up.
a regular grandpa, regular
Right.
baby.
The only thing that tripped me up, Brie, I was with you on the same side of the baby because it was like, oh, Satan worshiping. Like, is that baby possessed by Satan? Like, do we gotta get
Is it
rid of
gonna
it?
grow up
Like,
to be
is
the
it a
next Ted
problem?
Bundy?
Because you never know. Right. It could be if it's possessed by Satan and it's very clearly like demonic. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
am I now in 10 years, 15 years when this kid grows
Maybe you're
up?
saving
Is he
the
gonna be a
world.
fucking problem
Maybe
for
you're
me? Right.
saving the world by
Exactly. Is he
killing
gonna be
the
a problem
baby.
for me? Is he gonna be a problem for others? Like, is he gonna?
I'm gonna hold the baby's head and see what energy I get from it. And
Yeah.
if it's good energy, I will spare
I'm gonna
it.
look into its
if
eyes.
it's bad,
Yeah, I'm gonna look right into
it's
its
in
eyes.
the river.
It smells like pasta sauce in here.
It really does smell like pasta sauce. What is that? Are we having a stroke, all of us?
You guys smell
I
that?
kept smelling things, and that's what.
No,
it,
Does
pasta
it not
sauce.
smell like pasta sauce?
Very.
smells-
Oh, it's
smells
probably the
good.
pizza. It's probably the pizza. The pizza just
Oh,
got
we
here.
got
probably.
pizza
Oh,
delivered.
we got big.
As for the
Oh,
office.
Robert De
Robert De
Hey, oh, hey. Anyway. All right. I
All right.
think final answer probably will end up being kill the old man unless the
if he's
baby
such a bad
has like
guy.
super demon vibes. Then we gotta kill that baby.
Fucked your grandma on your grandparents'
My grandma
50th
needed to
anniversary.
get fucked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's crazy. I have a question
Maybe
for you guys.
if he did fuck my grandma, she wouldn't be haunting me right now.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe Cunty Nana just needs some dick and she'll
Yeah.
quit it.
Maybe he's Conti Nana through that form and he's sitting in front of you and he starts speaking and he's like, Brianna. And all of a sudden you know it's Conti Nana. Bop!
Okay.
Of course, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Gotta be. It's the minute you recognize that
I'm
Cunty
an
Nana's
assassin
possessing
in
the
that
person you're
moment.
killing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
you
Navy
got to
SEAL.
murder them dead. I want to. Do you guys think that the devil and all those things? The devil's hot in the streets this week. We don't have to go into all of that, but do we think that there is a difference? There is between like the devil and whatever and magic, like dark magic.
Absolutely.
I think we should get into magic and talk
All right,
about
let's
the
get into
differences.
magic.
Before we get into magic, ladies, I need to tell you something a little bit about what I've been up to lately, how I've been eating, how I've been living my life at home, and I was not living until recently. And let me tell you why. Okay, are you ready to listen, both of you?
Here.
HelloFresh has stepped into my life, and I don't know how it's taken this long for me to get involved with HelloFresh. I don't know what I was doing before. All I was doing was going grocery shopping, buying a million things, making one meal, and then having like ridiculous runoff ingredients.
And it all goes bad.
All going bad, all looking ridiculous. I'm furious about it. HelloFresh has come into my life. I got 3 meals last week for myself, and they were all delicious. I feel like a gourmet chef. I have all my tools going on. Everything is portioned out for you. They send you everything all in one thing: vegetables, protein, anything you're looking for. It's all set up. It's fantastic. Obsessed with it. And now they're sponsoring the podcast. That's huge news for me. Psyched for all of us. But everybody else should go to HelloFresh.com/because12 and use code because12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping, which I don't think I can think of a better deal than that. 12 meals with free shipping. That's amazing. And it comes in like a big box. It's a refrigerated box, or like, it has like
It always
whatever
blows
they're
my
called.
mind how everything stays cold.
Yeah, it's got the dry ice. Yeah,
Yeah.
dry ice, and it has all the other stuff going on, and it's super convenient. Especially I live by myself, so it's weird to get like all these groceries, and just they always go to waste. And I'm never really there for lunch or anything. But the dinner portions are so good, and they're really good. I had like paprika lemon chicken the other day with some green beans. Oh my god, it was delicious with like pistachio rice, just stuff I would never think to do, and it made it super easy for me. So I'm thrilled about it. Again, that is HelloFresh.com/because12, and you can use code because12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
Yummy.
And that's it. That's all about HelloFresh. I just wanted to let you guys know because it's important. That was an important news.
That made me hungry.
starving
it made.
now.
I'm really hungry too. We can smell some food. I can smell that HelloFresh.
pasta sauce.
Yeah. That pasta sauce, whatever it is.
All right, let's get into magic.
Yeah.
We left off talking about, dark magic. What is it?
Abracadabra. I should have brought a wand.
Oh, that would be
I own
cool
a
if we
wand.
just
I own a
whipped
Harry
out
Potter
wands. Of course.
It's
you
at my
do.
parents' house. It's not at my house.
So when you
But I own it.
when you
I used to
hear
have a magic kit. I was a weirdo.
did you do
Yeah.
magic growing
Fucking
up?
love
Like
magic.
did you try to do magic tricks?
Tried.
Tried.
I also
Failed
tried.
miserably. Bought it at like on like as seen on TV, like
Yes.
ads for like a magic kit. And I would get
Exactly.
the magic kit, and my dad would like pretend, "Oh, this is so cool," and like it
What's
was
in
so
the
bad.
magic kit? Like a rabbit?
It was like one of those. It was the wand that like pulls out, and there's flowers at the
Yeah,
top,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
like one of those handkerchiefs that like keep doing all the colors, and like a clown nose for some
Oh,
reason.
the clown nose is always involved in the
a
kit.
quarter with like it was both heads on both sides.
My magic kit had those like interlocking metal rings. Like
Yes.
that shit was one of the. I remember getting a magic kit also. I think from like a Barnes and Noble or something. You know how Barnes and
Yeah.
Noble used to have those weird like, whatever they are. Activities for kids, and you could like buy like activity kits.
They were awesome, but they were always
And-
like $50.
Yes, they were so expensive and whatever. But I got the magic one, and I thought it was the coolest thing. But I remember opening it and being like having a feeling like, oh my god, this is magic. Like I gotta be careful. Like
I am a
thinking
magician.
so truly that it was real. I was like, this is real. This is life. And it's not. It's that kind of magic is not real.
Do you guys like magic shows? Like going to a magic show?
David Blaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Something
cool
like that.
ass
Yeah.
magic
Yes.
shows.
But
Like
that's just like
something like
you're
that.
crazy. Like you're not a magician. You're just fucking crazy.
It's Chris
Yeah.
Angel mind freak level.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
like
awesome.
crazy.
David Blaine, Chris Angel, my freak. Shout out to Chris Angel.
Chris
like
Angel's
what is Chris
awesome.
Angel up to right now? I would love to see.
Probably just basking in all of his money doing fucking
Yeah.
magic tricks on a mountain.
When I
Chris
was
Angel.
when I was younger, we went to Las Vegas and we went to a magic show in Vegas, and it was
Those are probably
awesome.
sick.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Of course, yeah. I would love a theatrical magic show like that, like just a real, all kinds of sparks and whatever. He's worth Chris Angel $60 million.
Jesus.
Professional magician.
As he
Date of-
should.
He's 1967.
How
so
much
he's like,
is the
he's
other
like
one,
50
David
something.
Blaine worth?
David Blaine. Let's
I always
I feel
wonder
like-
who's like. Are you guys David Blaine or Chris Angel?
I grew up on Chris Angel.
Same, but I appreciate David Blaine. David Blaine is 40 million, which I think is appropriate. They're both super famous. Chris Angel more famous, but
Do you think Chris Angel's more famous than David Blaine?
yeah, he's been around longer.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't
I
know who Chris Angel is?
No, I know David.
Really?
Blaine.
I know David Blaine.
Of course,
more.
I know David Blaine.
I've heard Chris Angel. Don't know anything that he's done.
See, David Blaine was always cheesy to me. I don't know why.
Yes.
I knew David Blaine because when I was younger, that's when he started doing like the huge events
he
where
was
it
in
was
the
like
water
the
tank
water
in the
tank.
middle
Yes.
of like
Yes.
Yeah.
David
Times
Blaine
Square.
okay, so David Blaine is 47, Chris Angel's 53. I remember Chris Angel. He was like the OG like Chris Angel mind freak. Like he was like creepy
and that show,
and whatever.
and that's literally the way they say it.
Yes.
Chris Angel mind freak.
Always. And he was always playing like, mind games and whatever. And then David Blaine, I think, didn't David Blaine have a TV show? Like, I think that he got super famous because he
Chris
was
Angel
doing like
had a
magic on the
show.
street.
David Blaine probably
He had
did
like
too.
specials that he did.
Right.
That were,
And that was the water
And
and
like
the thing.
recently he does specials where it's like
did the hot air
street
balloon
magic,
thing.
but it's like
yeah.
with like celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in David Dobr's vlogs too.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about how do you guys feel about those kind of like those little tricks, like card tricks or like casual tricks?
Some of them are fascinating.
I think so too. I think they're smart to like use.
But
like
it's not
people,
magic. It's your.
It's sleight of hand.
You're smart.
Yeah,
I think
smart,
that's
sleight of
cooler
hand.
than him like sticking a rod through his arm. Like,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
not really.
It's
that
like that's
cool
not
to me.
magic. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, Hank could do some card tricks that are pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah?
I won't even lie.
I believe it.
He's gotten me quite a few times, and now I see him get other people with it, and it's such a thrill because it's a genius card. I can't even tell you guys.
No,
what it
don't,
is.
because I want to know. I
It's-
want him to do it later.
It's a genius card game, and it knocks me off my feet every time. There was one time we were at a bar, and he can also do one with a quarter. And I was like telling him to show all these girls. I was like,
amazing.
look at these magic tricks he can do.
That honestly
I
leads.
have one card trick I can do.
It leads directly into my yes. I want to see that. It leads directly into my next question of like, do you guys think that magicians get a bad rap, almost like they're lame or whatever? But then anytime someone is doing some kind of trick, I am drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Like I am watching it with like goo eyes, being like, "Wow, magic! It's amazing."
I don't think magicians are lame at all. I think magicians
That's
are
like
cool
that's
as
like
fuck.
the general stigma
No, I
though.
think, like, in
Before these
movies,
guys,
it's, like,
before
little
like David Blaine and
weirdos
Chris
being
If you're a
Angel.
clown, you're lame. You're
Yeah,
lame-o.
clowns are
Clowns
bad.
suck.
But they're not magic, are they?
No,
No.
but I feel like
They're
people
just-
just
They're
throw
goofy.
Yeah.
magic in with being like goofy and silly and like.
They
Chris
probably-
Angel is not lame.
No, he's not.
You know?
They
Chris
probably-
Angel's like
they
a
probably
rock star
associate-
magician.
Yeah.
They probably associate magicians with like kids' birthday parties. Like I think that a little bit, like clowns, kids' birthday parties, but also magicians.
Yeah.
So it's like they get that
Uncle
like, name.
Magic. If you are
Uncle
from
Magic.
Long Island, you know Uncle Magic. Who's your favorite uncle? Uncle Magic.
That's
we got
creepy.
balloon
I was like, that is
animals.
creepy and weird.
Games for kids.
Who's
Wow.
your favorite
Is he cool?
uncle?
Who's your favorite uncle? Uncle Magic.
Oh,
and
my
it was
fucking
Magic
God.
with a J. M-A-J-I-C-K. Type it in. Uncle Magic. Uncle Magic. Everybody from Long Island, if they are listening, they know the Uncle Magic
Oh, I
commercial.
see him.
They've all
Uncle
been
Magic.
personally victimized. by
Uncle Magic,
Play the-
hip hop.
play the
Wait,
commercial.
hip hop magician?
Yeah, he's the hip hop.
Uncle Magic,
hip hop magician.
2017.
Hip hop. And then he says, "Shock him, the clown."
Same old boring clown.
Hiphopmagician.com. There he is.
Animals, games for kids,
Rhea.
Bouncing castles. Snow
and shock him, the clown. Your favorite uncle, Uncle Magic.
I'll be honest. Uncle Magic looks barred out. Like so barred out.
Yeah,
I think it's creepy to say, "Who's your favorite uncle?"
Yeah, that is weird. That's creepy
That's
as
like,
fuck.
"Who's your daddy?"
Yes,
Daddy
yes.
Magic.
It's
kind
weird
of like
now.
creepy uncle vibes.
It's weird now,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's literally
sure it was
creepy uncle.
Uncle
vibes.
Magic,
I'm sure
the
it
hip hop
was the
magician, was
shit.
popping off.
How could you leave out the part that he was a hip hop magician? That's
Yeah,
even
That's
better.
pretty sick.
It was sick. The commercial was great.
Yeah.
I love that so much. What do you think about the magicians that like cut people in half? That blows my fucking mind. I don't know how that
I
works.
still don't get that, and I
Neither
know it's
do I.
probably so simple to understand.
I'm
I
sure.
still don't get it.
I don't know how
it's
it
just
works.
like a contortionist in there, and it's like probably
Maybe.
like two contortionists.
It's supposed to be two people. Like the legs are separate from the top. Like it's just like only your legs are hanging out and only your top half's hanging out. But they put one person
that,
in
right?
there, you know? It is supposed to be that.
genius.
Yeah.
That is what's
Well, the
supposed to be,
other
but they're
person's
so good at
already in
making
there.
Right, they're already in there.
Yeah.
But then what's crazy to me is like the person from the audience will get in the thing, they'll sit down, you can see like their ankles and their shoes and stuff, and then they just move it away. But I'm like, when did they switch out a new person with the same fucking shoes?
When they like disappear people quickly, and it's like wow, it's magic. It
Yeah.
like actually makes you believe in it, but it's just tricks.
You know what
Yeah.
movie? The Prestige. That's a great
that
magic
is a
movie.
really good
and
movie.
also Now You See
I was
Me.
just gonna say, Now You See Me,
Yeah,
with Jesse
See Me is
Eisenberg
with
and
John-
that
with
crew.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Very good movie as well. Were you guys big on Harry Potter? That kind of magic, wizarding magic?
I was obsessed with that.
As
yeah.
was I, and
I
still kind of am.
yeah.
I say still kind
I
of
think
am.
it's sick.
Yeah,
Harry Potter
Really
World,
obsessed.
Universal. Wow.
Unfortunately, I missed the
cried
boat on
there.
that. and
you?
it makes me upset all the time. I have gone to Harry Potter Universal. It's awesome.
It is
It's
awesome. I
so
so
fucking
longed,
cool.
'cause they were
We
like
should go
$60.
because it's
Of course
awesome.
we should go. I love it there.
I just never got into Harry Potter, unfortunately, and I don't know how I missed the boat on that. Like I think maybe
you might have been a little
I feel like
young, I
it's
guess.
too late now because when you rewatch it, the graphics are so bad that it's not cool.
Yeah.
But when you were young and watching it, it was like, this is fucking sick.
Did you read the books, Brie? Were you a book bitch?
No.
I was like a crazy book bitch because the books came out like as I was a kid.
They were too intimidating.
The first book came out when I was 11, when I
big.
was 10 turning 11, and Harry was 10 turning 11. And it was like, this is parallel with my life. I convinced
Yeah.
myself that my Hogwarts letter was coming, just like everybody else. Like everybody else did the same thing.
such a
But
cool
the
concept.
timing with like my life and my friends, like my grade specifically was so fucking obsessed. Like class of 2013, like college class, whatever, if you were like born in that time, that you grew
Harry
up
Potter was
exactly
huge, yeah.
in tandem with Harry Potter.
I've always wanted to watch the movies now that I'm older, but Hank always says that the books were so much better.
They were.
So he was like, he's like, it's not even worth it. And I'm like, but people love the movies. So
I'll
it
say this:
really is
the
worth
movies are
it.
really good. I'll say this:
I've seen the
about
first
books,
one, and that's really
the
it.
first three movies. The books are way better. 4 on in the movies, they're almost the same as the books. Like they do them really.
And they
big
got
justice.
really long,
Yes,
and
they
they did,
got
like, 2
long.
parts.
The 7th book they did 2 parts. Them doing 2 parts of the 7th book was like the most justice ever. Like,
Amazing.
they needed to do that, and it was so perfect
You
how they
couldn't
did
condense
it.
it.
They really didn't like leave anything out. Like, but in the first 3 books, they left a lot of shit out, or movies. They left a lot of shit out from the books, which pissed me off because I was like, well, this is
Yeah.
like what the fuck. But then it seems like Warner Brothers sunk $1 billion into it, and then they were able to do the rest.
I think wizard magic is the coolest magic.
It's
like
so
Wizards of
interesting.
Waverly
Wizards
Place.
of Waverly
Yeah,
Place
yeah.
is
Didn't that make
awesome.
you want
It's
to
so
have
cool.
powers
Yes.
so bad?
Of
I would like
course.
think
Going
that
to
I could.
Waverly Place
Yes.
in the West Village.
I pass
is
by it
so
always.
exciting. I
I
used
pass
to
by it
live
always.
like right next
if I
to
Uber
it.
from your house, I pass by
Yeah,
Waverly
always.
Place.
I used
the
to like
restaurant.
look at things and be like, you can move them. You can move them.
Yeah,
I would like
with your
think I would
mind.
be
Always.
a wizard.
I still think that. Like
Me
when I was
too.
playing
Sometimes.
Jenga this year, and I would just be like, "Don't fall,
Convince it,
don't fall," and it
yes.
wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
I'd be
And then
like,
you
wow.
convince yourself you're magic.
Yes,
Yeah.
Of course.
I do think I have some powers, but
Do you think
That's a
that
whole other
I
conversation.
feel that way too? Do you think that what are your guys' thoughts on magic versus like spirits and also religion? Like, do you think that you know how religious people hate magic because they think it's like black
Yeah, I was
magic or
gonna
the
say-
devil or whatever? Do you think that there's any correlation? Like, I would
Is-
never think wizards are
Relig-
sacrilegious. You know what I
No.
mean? But I guess they kind of are technically.
Well, would you like think mediums and psychics, or is that magic?
good question.
Is that a power, like a
I don't
magical
think that's
power?
magic.
I think
What
that's
is
just,
it?
That's like intuition powers, like
Just
Yeah.
power?
and also in real life.
I
Like,
guess
it's,
they can kind of
you know.
be intertwined in some way, but I feel like there's different levels to magic where I think where we were just talking about magic is more so magic tricks and magicians and the classical magic
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Where, I don't know, black magic, like you said, or something like that, I guess has to do more with spirits. And
Yeah.
Black magic like evil magic?
It's supposed to be, yeah. Like dark magic is like magic that you do not for gain or not for good, but maybe like with selfish intentions.
Are witches
or,
magic?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Like, are they
I know.
witches theoretically like Harry Potter world? Yeah, of course. But if you're
Yeah.
thinking like witches like Wiccans, not really. That's just like a religion that they practice. But I feel like there's a little bit of a blurred line, especially too with like devil worshipping and devil stuff. It's like, oh, that's bad, whatever. But then at the same time, it's like, is the devil going to show up here? That would be magic. If he like came through the floor, like that to me would look like
That's
magic.
magic,
Like that's
yeah.
not spirits. Like that's just
What
like,
else
oh,
would
the
you
fuck is
even
this?
call that?
Right. What would you
Magic.
call that?
It's a
Right.
magic trick.
So like, is religion magic?
no, because religions
They hate magic.
are just based off of words.
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I'm saying. But it's a weird. It's
In
funny,
some
right?
way.
All an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, illusion's a good
Illusion.
word.
No, I was been waiting to
Illusion.
say. How do we? None of us say
I
illusion
know,
once.
yeah.
It came in illusions.
I kept trying to think of it. I just have tricks.
What
Yeah.
was that website that you could play the Sweet Tart game? You know what I'm talking about? It had like the Sweet Tart game, it had like the cave game, and there were illusion games. It wasn't addictinggames.com. It was
I think I know what you're talking about though, because the illusion games were always like unfocus your eyes and like
Yes,
those.
what was
those
that
things.
on?
I can't think
The
of it.
Sweet Tart game. What somebody
Google it.
I don't
listening,
know.
please tell me what the Sweet Tart game was. And there were different illusions.
What was a sweet tart game?
Sweet Tart game?
Funnygames.org.
Was
Primary
that it? That sounds
Game It Now. That does sound
primary
good.
games.
3dpopulargames.com.
Yes, wait, it was Sweet Tart game. It was 3D.
3D Sweet Tarts game. 3dpopulargames.com. Right here. Is it this? Oh, it's loading. The Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
on
and
it.
it had
I'm
this
on it.
bubble thing.
Oh,
This shit here.
There were different levels. Yeah, the beach.
Yo,
the
this
beach
this
ball.
website is so old. I love stumbling on old ass websites like this.
Remember coolmath.com?
It was the Willy Wonka.
That was my favorite.
No,
I
I
don't
was
know.
never going on.
I don't know.
love
I don't
that.
really remember
They had
that.
fun games.
Oh, the Impossible quiz. Do you guys remember
Yes,
that? That was
yes.
so much fun. They still have that.
yeah. They
All
have
these
apps
games
for
are
it, too.
nuts. It's nuts how like what? Jesus.
I feel like the internet is kind of magic. I don't understand how any of it works.
I don't get it
I think
either.
it's
Like
fucking
Wi-Fi is
magic.
magic. How does
technology.
Wi-Fi work?
Exactly.
Yeah, technology is crazy.
Technology is magic. Everything's
technology's
magic.
weird.
Really?
Oh,
Like,
oh,
a
I
baby in your
forgot.
belly is magic.
I have
It's magic. It's not
I
a miracle,
forgot that I
it's
had
magic.
a magic fact for you guys. I completely
Oh.
forgot. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I didn't screenshot it like I thought I did, but I had wrote down a little bit. I was looking up to see like when magic started, like who started doing
The
magic.
first magician.
And it was back in like medieval times. They would do like court jesters would do some shit, but then there would also be like townspeople where they'd set up their little huts around like the fishermen and where people were downtown shopping for like groceries and stuff. They would set up little things and do magic for like coins. And the big thing that they would do was the like cup and ball game where they would like move, you put the ball under the cup and you move it around and you lift it up and there's where to go. And that like blew people's minds for years. Like people like were crazy about it. We're like, we don't understand it. It became like people would travel, like diplomats would travel to town and they would like get these people off the street and make them do the cup game for like
That's
diplomats
wild.
and stuff and like just going nuts over a cup and ball.
How do you go from that to cutting people in half?
I don't know.
It's just like, how does magic
Yeah,
elevate?
Yeah. How do you
How
keep
what is the
progressing?
transition of magic? Yeah, that is the thing I was looking up. It was like the timeline of magic, but then it just went to like Harry Houdini, which he's an important person to talk about. I think Harry Houdini.
Harry Houdini,
He was
yeah.
in the. let's
Was he
see.
in an episode of Drake and Josh? Or am I
Yes,
imagining
yes,
that?
yes.
Probably, yeah. Well,
Yes.
not him, not like
Yeah,
Harry
Houdini.
Houdini.
Died in like
He's
the
old as
20s,
fuck.
right?
It was like
he's-
Josh's number
He was born in
one,
like 1847 or
Like
something.
he loved
yeah.
him, Harry Houdini.
Yes, he
Or
loved
they,
Harry
or they maybe
Houdini.
changed the name of him, but it was Harry Houdini.
Or maybe they had Houdini. They like.
Remember, they did a magic show on the stage.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I have to
Yes.
look this up now.
Harry
Wow,
Houdini
so many,
episode.
referring to so many TV shows.
How did he
right now.
die again? It was like
Underwater, right?
Looked it up last night.
Or did he die
Underwater?
doing the magic trick?
I think it
or
might have
no?
been like underwater.
He was locked up.
I think so too. Like he couldn't. He like died in one of his own tricks.
Yeah.
Oh, Doheny.
Or wait, was
Yeah.
he the one who
The
died?
the
Was he-
great
Was he
Doheny.
the
Oh,
one
no.
he
They
got
changed
punched in
the
the
name.
stomach, right?
Yes. No, he died
Yes.
of peritonitis,
Henry
secondary to a ruptured
Doheny.
appendix.
Yeah.
And one in
No,
the
I
afternoon.
remember the story. He got punched in the stomach and like it was really painful, but he kept going. Like he kept performing and then later died because like I guess they
Internal
Yeah.
ruptured
bleeding or
his
something.
like
Oh my god.
see.
He was too involved
What
in
a
his craft.
beast. That's beast.
Yeah,
mode.
he was so dedicated to his craft. Let's see, death. Died of peritonitis, secondary to ruptured appendix at 1:26 on October 31st. Wow, Halloween, how cool!
still
in
alive.
room
That's a-
104 at
that's a
Detroit's Grace Hospital, age 52. In his final days, he believed he would recover, but his last words before dying were reportedly, "I'm tired of fighting. I do not want to fight anymore." Oh, Harry.
That's his last word.
Harry Houdini.
That's an awesome name.
Oh, wait a minute.
And then he
Witnesses,
disappeared.
wait, here it is. Witnesses to
Harry.
an incident at
That's
Houdini's
Henry
dressing room in the Princess Theater in Montreal speculated that Houdini's death was caused by a McGill University student, Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead, a girl who repeatedly struck Houdini's abdomen. What a cunt.
Oh yeah, it
Are you
wasn't like he
kidding
didn't
me?
ask them or something. He
Why
just went
should
up to him in the hallway, I think cuz he's done that trick
Jocelyn
before.
Gordon Whitehead. That's a girl name, right?
So she's a murderer.
What
Yeah.
the
She's
fuck?
a murderer. She murdered my great Harry Houdini.
Cuz he wasn't like
My
ready
great
for it.
grandpa, Harry Houdini.
I'm gonna start telling people my grandpa was Harry Houdini.
Yeah.
It says, yeah,
I'm
Jocelyn
going to say
Gordon
it too,
Whitehead.
and then they'll just think we're related.
No, it actually was a man. It's a man named Jocelyn. How embarrassing.
Dude, what a
And
douche.
it was the McGill University student who punched Houdini in the dressing room, blah, 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 blah. It either started, contributed, or covered up the appendicitis that would take Houdini's life 9 days later.
What a douchebag.
Fucked up.
Fuck
Fuck
you,
you,
murderer.
Jocelyn. Literally, what a fucking murderer. Wow. Justice for Harry Houdini.
Justice for
Love
Harry
him.
Houdini.
I'm
Justice
getting a
for
shirt.
him.
that
We
love you,
says
Gramps.
Justice for Grandpa.
I'm going to write
Jesus.
I heart Harry Houdini.
I heart, yeah,
on
I
the
love
shirt.
Harry Houdini. We are big Harry Houdini stands in this house. from
Unless
here
he
on
did
out.
something wrong once upon a
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know, don't
He's still
write this
family,
down.
though.
Which probably,
Yes,
yeah.
family.
Listen, I'm sure he
you
was
know,
problematic.
sometimes Grandpa
He was
fucks
born,
up, but
Yeah.
fam is fam.
He was born. Fam is fam. Fam is fam. He was born in 1874, so he definitely fucked up. Like he's definitely.
Yeah.
He died in 1926,
sure.
so
Damn.
he's
Yeah,
probably problematic. But
he's our great
He's
grandpa.
so
Yeah.
old, right? That we're like we can just respect his magic and move on. You know.
He lived
Great
such a
granddaddy.
different life.
Imagine
Imagine Harry Houdini living this day and oh, Gramps would love it now.
Gramps would
He would love it. He would love
Gramps
it.
would love
Great
it.
granddaddy would be rocking opposite Malcolm right here.
He'd be so psyched. He'd be so psyched.
Hanging out with fatty dumpies.
He'd be hanging out with the angel guy. And the
Chris Angel,
Angel.
Chris Angel, David Blaine,
almost
Harry
said Chris
Houdini.
Oh my God, the big three.
Yeah, the big
Dude, they would be unstoppable.
They would never
Imagine
stop.
the big three going through Miami.
Wow.
Harry Houdini.
Magic
Why
wand.
Miami? Oh, because it's the strip now. It's the
no,
new strip?
because the big three from Miami.
I could see
you know the basketball.
No.
they'd be taking girls' tops off at the beach with like
Yeah.
their magic
Oh
wands.
yeah, with the snap of a finger. And
then it's like,
just,
titties!
It's just Chris
hysterical.
Angel, Harry Houdini, and David Blaine
Yeah.
in Miami.
Just snapping girls'
With
tops
cigars.
off.
Everyone's
Yeah,
naked.
cigars, walking by.
And they're like,
clap.
it's a nude
What's up,
beach.
sugar tits?
Yeah,
Snap. There
it's
it is.
a nude beach now.
Yeah.
And then
Wait,
everyone's like,
that's a good movie. That's a good TV show.
That is a good TV show.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we're
Three
writing.
magicians?
I'm writing
Yeah.
that one down. Magicians.
We shouldn't be telling everyone.
Magicians,
People are going to steal
David
our ideas.
Blaine, Chris Angel,
Yeah.
and Harry Houdini.
I remember that. I'll never forget
And
the big three.
Is Harry Houdini
He black and
born?
white because he should be black and white.
He's in black and
He's
white.
the only one in black and white.
And they are in color. And he's so old. Like he was literally born in 18 whatever.
Yeah.
Still. And they
I just picture
basically
him with scars all over
yeah.
his face.
And he's
Yeah.
like, you guys don't know
And he's
what I've
always
been through.
complaining about his stomach ache. He's always like,
Yeah,
my stomach. He's always.
yes.
his appendix is in his hand
Yes.
at all times.
And
Yes.
Chris and David are like, Harry, we gotta figure out what happened with that stomach.
Chris has angel
Yeah,
wings.
yeah.
And Harry's like, I know what happened. I know.
He's
what
like, I know what happened, and it's too late.
Jocelyn.
And I've been haunting him ever
They
since.
go find the McGill student.
Yes.
The whole show is about
The big three
killing
finding Jocelyn.
It's,
Yes.
it's called Killing Jocelyn.
Yes.
Jocelyn.
Yes.
Killing Jocelyn.
Killing Jocelyn.
Similar to Killing
starring
Eve, but Killing
Oh my
Jocelyn.
Chris
God.
Angel, David Blaine, and Harry.
I want a
Houdini.
cameo
I can't
from
wait.
Pitbull too. Like Pitbull.
Oh, of course. Miami.
Mr.
Miami.
Mr. 305.
Of course.
And they're
Has
like,
to be.
they're pretending to enjoy the Pitbull show, and they're like,
Yeah.
I know you want me.
Yeah, and then
Harry
they see
Houdini's like,
Jocelyn.
And they see Jocelyn.
Yeah,
in
and they're
the
like, go,
crowd.
go, go. And Chris Angel's wings come out and he flies over to him.
Jocelyn and Pitbull are both in an all-white suit.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Easy to spot.
He's super easy
Wow.
to spot.
Jocelyn
Super
would
easy
also
to
be
spot.
Good
like
magic.
what, like 120.
Yeah, Jocelyn's
Yeah.
also definitely dead. But
Jocelyn
And in
will
black
black
and
and
white.
white.
we'll find. Here's the thing. It'll be a hunt to find the family. So whatever this Jocelyn's like ancestors, this person's kids, life, whatever. Those
the
are the people we're
whole
gonna
line.
stalk, and they happen to live in Miami, which is why they're all going down,
Yeah.
and they're gonna unfortunately have to.
And Houdini has
receive
no
punishment.
mercy. Kills the whole
No
family
mercy.
line.
No
whole
fucking
family
mercy.
tree.
Houdini has no mercy because he knows as soon as he finishes killing Jocelyn, he will turn into color,
Color.
and
Yes.
then crumble.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
Exactly,
he turns
yes.
into color and then dies.
He'll have a moment of reprieve, and he'll be like, "Yes, like finally, I'm free. Here, I feel good," and then he'll disappear.
yes, like in the Avengers when
Yes.
Chris Evans
Yes.
just disappears.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's good.
I think
There
that's-
you
I think
go.
That is good.
We are creative today.
Yeah. Wow.
well,
I'm
you know what?
feeling it. It's
We're
that
gonna make a
positivity,
lot of
man.
money off these ideas.
Yeah, we really
which is
are.
Perfect.
Steal them because we have
Yeah.
written, we have them
Yeah,
on
nobody's stealing.
record.
These is yeah, these are on record. They're copyrighted now because I said so, and that's
Yes,
it. And
it's
that's it.
copyrighted.
Bottom line. It's
They-
copyrighted.
Once you say
copyrighted.
something's copyrighted, it's copyrighted.
This is copyrighted.
And we're gonna
Yeah.
get a lot of money off of it. And if you steal it, we're gonna
get
sue
your
you
guns
and then
out.
get a lot of money.
Yes.
And this
Yeah.
is the perfect way to
Maria's got, like, her
transition
gun
into
ready.
money.
It's like, if we're gonna
It's
sue
perfect
you,
fucking money.
I swear to God, this shit's copyrighted, and we will sue your ass.
We'll go Harry
for a lot of
Houdini
money
on your fucking
yeah.
ass.
Yeah. Which okay,
I'm ready.
we got 3 people sitting right here,
Here we go.
and you got Chris Angel, David Blaine, Harry Houdini, Noah. Who are we?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Yes.
going to say
Well,
who would
That's
you
a good
fuck?
one.
No.
Well,
Yeah, marry, fuck, kill, Harry Houdini, Chris Angel, David
I don't
Blaine.
know Chris Angel really, so I'll just have to guess on that one.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
I was like, if you do it by age, I swear.
No,
to
I'm
God.
not gonna do it. Yeah, Kelly's automatically Harry.
Because I was like, don't you dare. But also,
Kelly.
it could have.
okay, I'm gonna say that Bree is Harry Houdini.
Oh, yes. I wanted to be Harry so
I'm
bad.
gonna say that Rhea is David Blaine.
That's I'm pissed about
Why?
that.
Why? David
And
Blaine's
then you're
sick.
Chris.
I
I feel like
like
it's kind of a
Chris
perfect. Chris
Angel.
Angel's he's like a weirdo freak.
I know.
See, I didn't know
like
that,
Chris
but-
Angel so much better than David Blaine.
David
I'm
Blaine's like
wise
the cool
beyond
magician.
my
like-
years.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not giving David Blaine the credit he deserves.
You're not, and
not.
I think
Grew up on
that
Chris
you also
Angel.
are like fitting with David Blaine, to be honest.
Yeah, he's like the cool magician that's like chilling.
He's like
and-
low-
He's
he's like
always
laid back,
high.
low
Never
Chris
shows
Angel.
emotion. He's
Yeah.
just like
He's
yeah,
always high
like-
too. I feel.
And Chris Angel's always like
Interesting.
looking moody and being weird.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fair
So that
enough.
makes sense.
Fair enough.
And I
Fair
just have
enough,
a
fair
cane
enough.
and I'm
Yeah, and
looking
you're
for
just old as
Jocelyn.
fuck and you want to kill Jocelyn. But yes, let's get into money.
Okay.
We're going to make a lot of money off these ideas.
Magicians make a lot of money. Before we talk about money, do you know what's a really good way to save money and how?
How?
It's by using Curtsy, which is now one of my most favorite apps. I use it all the time. This is crazy. I went to Brandy Melville yesterday. I posted a TikTok about the haul. I'm returning all of the clothes because I found them all on Curtsy for half the price with the tags on still.
Wow.
Curtsy has name brands. They have brand new stuff with tags on it still. They have literally anything that you want. They have shoes, accessories, bags, the best brands ever. They have Lulu. So if you don't want to spend $100 on leggings, you could get it on Curtsy for like almost half the price. It's amazing. It's good quality. They ship it right to you, and they have like good return policies if you want to return them too. It's amazing. I love Curtsy. I bought shoes off of Curtsy, and I wear them all the goddamn time. They're so comfy, and they have every size. You can put in your size, and everything is right there for you. So if you want to get name brands like Lulu, Brandy, Urban, Champion, you can get it delivered directly to your door by downloading Curtsy today and entering promo code HIGH for 15% off your first order. That's promo code HIGH at the app Curtsy. That's CURTSY and promo code HIGH for 15% off.
All right, let's get into talking about money. I feel like this money is a soft subject for some people, not for other people. It's also one of those things where, Brie, I think you say this all the time. You're like, why can't we just print more money?
Yeah,
like
and
money,
I know there's a whole thing
I know there's a whole
behind it.
system,
There's a whole thing,
but it doesn't make sense.
But it
Why?
doesn't make any sense because it's literally a piece of paper that you hand to people, or it's a number in your bank account.
Yeah.
Where, like, if I was a crazy hacker of some sort, I feel like I can hack into my bank account and
Put a
type
couple
in the
zeros.
number that I want, and then all of a sudden I have that money.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. The money system doesn't make any sense.
It's like
When you
if
think-
you're in debt, print more money.
When you think about it deeply, like about the like money in the bank and things like that, and where it is and what it is real, is it not real, like all that shit, it starts making you understand the people that like hide money in their mattress because they're like,
It
oh,
does.
because it's, you know, obviously I don't have any credit cards because I'm not allowed, and so that's unfortunate. But
That is unfortunate.
credit cards are a problem, and I have a fact about credit cards, which is why I'm working that into the conversation. But the average American right now is at roughly $6,100 in debt, credit card debt, like the average American. Like,
So that's just people being
and that's not real
irresponsible.
money. Like, but also that's not real money. Like that's money that you're eventually gonna have to pay back. But that's like borrowed money. So where the fuck does that come from? It just is all like, to me, I think about money and I know it's tangible. I know what my paycheck is, and I could say like we got paid today. I could take all that out and have that cash.
I need to look up a
But
crazy
like,
fact
you know
real
what I mean?
quick.
Like, but where? I don't know, like that, sure. But then everything else, like what if I use this credit card? I can spend $5,000 and refurnish my apartment, which is what I did and why I don't have them anymore.
No, this is going to blow your fucking mind, and it's so fucked up. So, you know when you overdraft and you get feed for it?
Yeah.
Banks collect more than $30 billion a year in overdraft fees. So they're collecting money from people that don't have money
Yep.
and getting $30 billion. So
It's
that's
fucking
where all the
crazy.
extra
Yeah.
fake money comes from.
Yeah, but
It's so true too, honestly, because I get hammered with overdraft fees.
Yeah.
And I've like turned it off. I've done the whole thing, like talk to them, like whatever, and it's still I'll get hammered with them.
I feel like with credit card debt though, and yeah, you can call me a narc by saying it's irresponsible for people to do this, but I think it's irresponsible because I don't use my credit card. Well, I wouldn't use my credit card if I didn't know I had money to pay it off.
See, but
you know what
say
I mean?
you
Like,
say that until you don't have money though. Like if you you've always had money in your bank account. Like you've never have you like worried about having enough money
No.
before? So yeah, if you don't have, say you've
Well,
never.
yes, I have.
Have
but
you had like $100 in your bank account? That's it. That's all you have, and rent's due next week, and you can't even buy groceries. That's when you need a credit card.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a credit card, you're like fuck. And yes, sure.
Yes, but then
that's
you can
irresponsible.
eventually
But then
pay it back.
right, but
when
then
you get paid
that's
the
where
next
the
time.
But you have all
but that's
these
where the
bills
that's where
to
the cycle
pay.
goes through. Yeah, the bills come through. Like you're already in the red, and you need to get in the red more because you need to buy groceries. And then
Very true.
you get paid, you pay your rent, you pay your bills, you pay this, that. You're left with like $40. And then
Yeah.
you're like, all right, well, am I going to pay my credit card? No, because that goes into the money. I can't now spend that money again. This is all I have.
Right, I just made it seem like I was like rolling.
Yeah, you really did. That's why I was like, bitch, no. I was like,
no, but
'cause
I mean,
it is. You're right.
I have before. I wouldn't say
theory-
recently, but like,
No.
I have been like, oh shit, like
In theory,
I'm running out of whatever.
yes,
but I
it
just
is
feel like
irresponsible.
I guess when you put it like that, like I sound like an asshole being like,
Yeah.
you can't just pay off your credit card.
No, it's
Like
credit
I-
cards.
like I
and also, by the
understand why
way,
people get
if you
credit
don't pay
cards.
off your credit card, like if you have bad credit, when you pay off your credit card, your interest rates are so much higher. So if you miss one credit
You
card
get
payment,
fucked.
you get fined out the ass, and then it's on top of what you owe another like $150, and then it's like I didn't even have that to begin with.
I'm
Like I had
scared
none
to
of
get
this
a
to
credit
begin
card.
with. I mean, it's a nightmare.
I don't
I'm 30
even,
years old. I don't have one.
I think I guess like you said, like a credit card is kind of like not a backup solution, but like they give you a certain amount
for emergencies,
and then you will have to pay that off every month, which would be the smart way to like once you get paid
to build
from
credit.
Your whatever your check, you'll take some of that, then pay your credit card bill off. So yes, that's why it makes sense. But if you don't, I feel like you need a credit card to build credit, like good credit, though, because you need good credit in life, which is another scam in my opinion.
It's fucking crazy.
Like when I'm getting an apartment,
like, if I have,
and they're
the
like,
money,
"What's your credit score?" I'm like, I mean,
that's
what does this matter if I can
my
pay?
parents are like are guarantors of mine. They don't need to be, but they are because my credit score is so bad. Like because of my I don't think
I have any
fucked on credit
My
cards.
sister always talks about her credit cards. She's always been
it's a nightmare.
I think I think where I feel like an asshole for saying that that people
you sounded a little bit like an asshole.
I did, and I'm like now I'm thinking about it, I'm like that sounded like an asshole move, but that's only because I haven't gone out of my way to get multiple credit cards.
You haven't. Also, though,
one credit card.
You've always had like you immediately like you left school immediately into a full-time job as an adult almost immediately. I didn't have as like a normal person didn't have a job until I was 23, and that's when I was making $25,000 a year. Like that shit is like what happened to you does not happen to everybody. Like you got not lucky, you're very talented, but also like it's different for you.
I would like to say that I feel lucky. I'm sorry I came across
no,
like
you
an
definitely
asshole.
are. But you're not wrong in saying that like using credit cards irresponsibly is a problem, because it is. And
Some
I am a
people
person.
do that.
I was half and half. It was half emergencies, half irresponsible. Because once you get in a mood, and credit cards, they will like call you and tell you like, thanks for doing your payments on time for 6 months. We're going to increase your limit, and then you think like, oh, okay, I can handle this, until you can't anymore, and then you're in a hole. And that's why credit card companies are such assholes. Like they're even worse than the banks, because they will like give you this, give you that, knowing that there's no fucking way that you're going to be able to keep up with that, especially the interest, like fines, all that shit. And then you're stuck, and then they have to, you close the credit card, you figure it out, you have to slowly pay them back. But if you don't pay them back fast enough, they still give you more fines. Eventually they sell you to collections, and then you get bombarded with phone calls from a collections agency. Like that's what happens if you don't like take care of your credit card the way that you're supposed to. But if you also weren't taught how to like take care of it, you don't fucking know. And I feel like you probably started off good with a credit card, and then have had like a stable job that has been able to like keep it the whole time. But if you have like stuff in between, it's like it fucks your shit up.
I will say I'm not like, my credit card limit has never gone up because I'm not good at it.
Oh, yeah,
like I don't use the credit card, and also when I do use it, like I'll forget to. Like it'll be like 2 months. I'll be like, oh, I gotta pay that shit off.
Do you pay a credit card bill online, or do you have to pay it in the mail?
online? No,
I do it online.
Oh yeah, always online.
What? You think you have to pay it in the mail?
My mom still pays everything in the mail.
My parents
my
do too,
God,
but
that's
I do it online.
it's all
I think
online.
my parents.
So I didn't know if it was like
pay
you
online.
have to do it.
Yeah.
If you do it on the app, it's so easy.
It's so easy.
It's like one click.
Yeah.
It is really easy, but that's the thing, is like, do you have the money to pay the credit card? Because that was always my problem specifically. I never did. Like I always maybe had it for a moment, or thought like, oh, this will be fine, but then like other
Feels like
things
fake money,
come
so
up.
you don't think
Other
about
things
it.
come up that are more important, like food, and like maybe you go to dinner one time, it's $45, and then next week you have to like have an emergency situation with your eyeballs. Also, maybe a thing that happened to me, and it's like you have to spend $500 unexpectedly, and it's like, what the fuck do I do now? And
you need a credit card.
You need a credit card, but if you don't have a credit card, that's like your own money, and then you're stuck. And then how do you, you know what I mean? Like
they're important.
They're important,
but
messy.
messy.
But messy as fuck. Like they're so difficult. I still am not responsible enough to have a credit card. I don't. My credit card, my credit score is super low. I'm still paying off like a couple credit cards that I jacked up, and they're not even that high. Like I right now presently, I don't know how much debt, maybe a couple thousand, but I think I was around $8,000 or $9,000 in debt for a minute.
See, that's so much more like. My sister was talking about this the other day, because my brother was talking about how he, like, kind of like me, he was like, I just don't understand the point of like having a credit card and then having to pay it off, and like the debt, and just like dealing with that. And my sister was like, told us the amount of credit card debt she had, and I was like, what the fuck? And
People
she was
have
like,
a
and she was
crazy
like,
amount.
That's normal. And I was like, and now you're saying it, and it's like, it seems like that's just the thing.
I didn't think it was normal either, because I would sit in my room, and like the thing that pushed me over is because I moved, and I was like depressed, and I furnished my whole apartment in one fell swoop, and it was $5,000. Like that was my credit limit. I got a shiny new Chase card. I had built up my credit, and I'd done really well, and then I just like lost my mind one day, spent all this money. That was really irresponsible. I've been paying for that for years. Like it's been 3 or 4 years, and it's barely paid off. Like all of the fees that were on top of it, I did not have like
interest
the money. Yeah, the interest is really what kills you. But like that's the kind of shit. And I was beating myself up over it. I was so afraid to tell my parents, like, because I'm old. I'm not getting help from my parents financially, and I just didn't even want them to know how irresponsible I had been. Like I was so mortified. I was like just being really frugal about money, like so worried that it was going to ruin my life. And then finally I heard somebody, like a friend of mine, talking about her own credit card debt and how it was like 20 grand. And I was like, what? I was like, how do you sleep at night?
Right?
Like, what do you mean? And they're
Knowing
like,
you owe
oh,
that
relax.
money.
Like, they're not going to come lock me up. And I was like, oh, I guess you're right about that. They're not going to come lock me up unless I'm like
That's so
$1
scary.
million in debt. But like, they're not worried about me. $8 grand in total with over
When they're
4
making
credit
30
cards.
billion a year.
That's
right.
why it's so confusing.
It is
It's so
confusing. It's
confusing.
insane.
You're allowed to get away with so much to a certain extent.
It's insane. And you are allowed to get away with a lot, which is why people take advantage of it and then they get stuck in this hole. But if you accidentally are doing it and then you're stuck, like, don't beat yourself up. Like, you're not the only person that's like fallen into an issue with credit card debt, because it's like made to fuck you over. Like, there's nothing good about a credit card. I feel like I want
Besides
one. I
the
love
fact
one.
that you pointed
You-
out
the
that when
emergency
you're
thing.
in it, when it's
When you're in a
emergency.
bind, yes. When you're in a bind, that's true. But then you still, like, that's the only time it works, when you need that money that moment. But that instance will fuck you forever. You
But
know?
like I kind of try to do it where I'm like, I use the credit card on everything, and then I just pretty much pay it off like the same day.
that's a smart way to do it.
because then I'll be like, oh, I'll get points for this, and like
Points. The points thing, I think,
the
has
points
made
incentive.
The
Yeah,
points
people
incentive
get,
has
like,
made
dinners
people
now
good
and
about
yeah, like you get a
stuff. Yeah.
flight, like
Yeah, true.
People-
Yeah, I have a JetBlue card, which is the only card I have.
I had an
because I'm
American
like, I'm
Airlines
trying to
card.
Is
get
it a regular credit card, but it's just JetBlue?
Yeah, it's a JetBlue credit card, and then you just get points, and then
It's
you
like a
get like
Visa?
money for flights.
Yeah, that I had an American
I should do
American
that.
Pretty sure it's a
Airlines one, and it
MasterCard,
was
I
My mom
mine
has
was
like
Mastercard too.
the
Here's my
American
credit card
Express
info, by the way.
Yeah,
It's just
one.
my number
Yeah.
and my pen if you want it.
I want the cool ones. Like my mom has like the chrome, like metal
Oh,
American Express.
yeah,
Forget it. Yeah,
You
no.
gotta
My mom's
work up
credit
to
so
it.
you
is
gotta be-
so good. My dad is so bad, and my mom is like, she could buy anything she wants. She's
Good for her.
That's her always thing. My credit is so good. You need to build credit. Like, you need to build credit.
Ugh.
I'm like, I guess
I
you're
hate your
I
time
hope-
to credit, but you're right.
The day
She
that
can't
I
buy a
have like
house.
no more credit card debt, like the day that I like am able to open a credit card again, I don't have this debt, and I have like a paycheck that I'm like, I've managed correctly, is fine, as the day that I'll be able to breathe again. Like that's I never feel like I'm
Yeah.
managing my money right, and I feel like money is so fucking stressful in that way.
Debt
Like,
in general is just like I have
So
I have
stressful.
student loan debt,
Forget
and
it.
I
Forget it.
and it's honestly something that just like looms over my head because
Yeah.
I'm like, I went to one semester at Pace in New York City, and it was like $50,000.
Yeah,
like
it's not cheap.
it was very expensive. And then I went to another semester at FIT. That one was way cheaper, but. I dropped out and I didn't use any of the information from college. And it's not like my parents were like, we're not paying for college. You
Yeah.
have to go. That was when they told me I originally had to go, but then
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
care I
They
dropped
changed their
out.
minds, yeah.
But they were, you got to go, but you got to get student loans. Like, we're not paying for college. So that's what I did. And now I'm paying this shit off every month. And I'm like, this was a complete waste of my money that now it won't be paid off for years.
No,
No,
years.
I'm
Like
I have
years.
30,000.
It's
and by the
like-
way, it collects interest too. It also
Yes.
collects interest.
A
Like,
big
it's just
interest,
huge.
like lots of fucking interest.
I don't
I want to
understand-
just pay it all off in one day.
Right, like I would love to. My like
then I'd
big
blow my whole
goal in
savings.
my
Right,
life.
yeah. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
then what do I
what if
have?
there's an emergency?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
When
and
there's
what
an
if I'm in a
emergency,
rut and I don't
then-
have
exactly. I'm in a
savings?
bind.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Exactly.
And then there's no savings, and then
I don't even know I have savings because I just have it to be like, oh, it's there, but like I'm never gonna touch it because I'm scared I'm gonna need it one day.
Right.
It's but it's good though. Sometimes it's good to like be too afraid to like
Yeah.
dip into your savings. Like that's something that I was never too afraid. I would start doing stuff. It maybe be like 2 or 3 months, me putting shit in my savings, and then something would come up, like a trip or maybe a dinner or like whatever, something that I needed like a couple $100, and I'd be like, oh, whatever, I'll just move it over from my savings.
too much.
Immediately, and then you do it all the time, and then it's like
There goes the savings.
It is a
But
mix
you should use
between-
your savings for some luxury. Once in a
sometimes
while.
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
treat yourself. Sometimes
Most
treat
of the time,
yourself.
it should be for saving, but
It's for
Lately-
vacations. I usually I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I can dip into the
Right.
savings
Lately, I've
for
been
that.
thinking
'Cause
like
it's
I
once
have
a year.
I have lived like a poor person because I've been a poor person for a long time, and I have lived that way, and I'm comfortable living that way to the point where now that I have like a little bit of money and I'm sorting it all out, like I'm finally getting out of this like debt hole. My like paychecks are normal again. I'm not really saving anything yet. Still, like I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna just kind of try to live some shit because I've just been living so poor for so long. Now I'm gonna like live the way that I was wanting to. Yes, it's gonna suck, but I'm used to living like that. I don't need to live in like a giant place or like have all these luxurious things. I'm fine with like doing things now. Like I'd
Living
rather do
comfortably,
that.
and
yeah.
You can. That's what I like.
Until I like sort it all out. I feel like that's good. I'm not going to say no to shit. You know?
I don't want to like have a huge house and then it's like you don't have money to do fun things.
Yes,
like I want to have money to
exactly.
go do whatever the fuck I want, like whenever I want.
That's my mindset right now.
vacation.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
you can go on
vacation,
vacation.
like-
You can buy a car if you want it.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of trips coming up, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm
Same.
psyched about it.
It's
Like
awesome.
and I'm, yes, I'm like pinching fucking pennies, but I'm still doing these things where like if I wasn't doing
If you
them,
had a
what
sick-ass
I would sit at
apartment,
home, right? I'd have a
yeah.
sick apartment alone at home, like what that
you can
what
never
the fuck
leave.
is that?
It's like
Yeah.
I'm paying for what?
It
to
just
be
doesn't
miserable.
even. My priorities are so different now, I think. But money has always been like a huge part of like the problem. Like I don't have a good relationship with money personally. I really don't.
Do you genuinely think money could buy happiness? Because I do.
I think so.
To a
And
certain extent. Like,
yeah.
I think,
If you already have your friends and family.
right, you have everything. And then I feel like crying in a luxurious home where you're wiping your tears with like, you know, pleated napkins that are perfectly printed and
Sure.
hot pressed. It could make the experience
Still better than
you know, you're
crying.
I agree with
crying
that.
Don't you
after
think you'd
that.
be like more sad being like, I have everything and I
still feel
and
sad.
why, like,
That's
lot
a
of
that's a
people-
that's a different kind of darkness.
That's just Lucky by Britney Spears.
I just
Yeah.
don't
You know,
think
she's so lucky she's
any-
a star, but she cries in her lonely heart.
great song.
I don't
There's
think
nothing
anyone's
nothing
happy.
missing in her
Justin
life.
Bieber, Lonely. What is
Yes,
that?
Lonely.
I
Have you
feel like
guys
a lot of
ever?
people-
Do you know of anyone that's like actually happy?
Honestly, like
Yes.
kind
Who?
of.
In my life?
I don't know anyone that's
I know
like
people-
genuinely
Really?
fucking
My
happy.
parents are so happy. No joke. My parents
That's
are
nice.
the happiest people ever. It's the weirdest thing. Like
Yeah.
I saw them recently and me and my sister were like observing them and we were like, it is so crazy that these two have been married, or they've been together since my mom was 16 years old. They've been married for like 20 plus years, probably 25 or something. And they are so happy and in love. And I'm like, what?
Longer than that. Longer than 25. Your
that's
sister's mine.
crazy.
They would
Yeah,
over 30, I'm
longer
sure.
than 20. Oh, they said it's going to be 31 actually
that makes
this
sense.
year.
Yeah.
I heard them say that. They would be mad that I said 2025. I'm pretty
No,
sure it's
no.
31
Over 30
years
for
they've
sure.
been married.
Over 30, yeah.
And they're so happy.
I know
Like,
people that are
genuinely all
like
say
in
that.
love that are happy, but I'm talking like in their lives. Like I don't know anyone.
pretty happy.
Even like rich people.
But I went through it.
I feel are like miserable.
I feel like it ebbs and flows. Like I think that the
Yeah.
general, like I know people who are generally happy, yes, like in their lives. But I also think when I see those people who are happy, I think like, how are you happy in that life? Because I wouldn't be happy in that life. You know what I
Same.
mean? Like it's all happiness is
Maybe
relative.
I just want to believe everyone's miserable.
I think that to a certain extent
Because
they
I am.
are. Like, and also if they were to be like, if they were living your life, this is something that makes me feel better when I think about people who are happier than me. I always think like, oh, well, they couldn't handle like my life. Like, there's no way. Like, they're happy over there. They're doing their own thing.
But
Like, they
also,
could
how do
never.
you know they're happy? Like, because when you go out, you're
True.
not like, oh, I'm like, you're putting on.
That's true.
Very
Very
That's
true.
what I'm saying. Like I don't know if
who
everyone's
is
truly very
What's
happy.
like the realness everywhere?
I think
yeah.
everyone always wants to be a little better.
Totally. I think
Oh,
people go
that's
through
so dark.
go through waves. Well, people just go through waves, you know. But I think
I
that,
drank weed
that
tea
money
this morning.
does.
That's why I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I
Yeah.
didn't,
Like,
I'd
you're
be
in a
like,
really good
yeah,
mood today. Yeah.
everyone's miserable. I'm
I
like,
think
oh,
that
it's
I think that money
great.
has a lot to do with it though, because money just gives you that financial security. It's one less thing to worry about. Like I know that I am like generally unhappy, and I know that I'm depressed. I know that money wouldn't like solve all my problems, but it would take like the biggest weight off of my chest. I'd
I
be
think
able
money
to
would
be
solve
like,
all of my problems.
yeah, I'd just be like, you know what,
Could
this
get
is
a
fine.
sick ass therapist. Could get a sick ass apartment because I hate my apartment. Could
Yeah.
buy any surgery that I wanted that I hated about myself, and I'd be happy.
Yeah,
It would make you happier,
happier.
probably.
Yeah,
But
like all the things I'm
when you
upset
don't
about,
truly
money could fix it.
yeah, that's true. If there are things that you're upset about because they have to do with money, then of course.
Yeah.
But then eventually you're going to find something to be upset about again that doesn't have to do
Yeah,
with money.
that's why I'm saying no one's happy.
But
What do you think about? Do you think it's hard to? Have you either of you ever had to like ask for a raise? That was another thing. A lot of people calling in asking about that. People having trouble asking for raises and stuff, which I also think is really really hard to do.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard to like ask for a raise somewhere.
I've never done it,
No.
but I want to, and I'm scared to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do. It's like, you know that the conversation will go well, especially if you're in a workplace where it's like a place where you can talk about those things. You can go and ask about it. And it's not that you're going in and like demanding more money. You want to have a conversation about it. And I think that's how people have to look at it when they're wanting to go in and like talk to people about this. You have to be prepared with like, what have you done? You can't just go in and be like, oh, I need a raise. Like, look at me, I work so much. It's like, show me what
need
you've
a
done. You have to,
spreadsheet.
right, present it to them. Like, do this whole thing, so make it so they can't say no, you know? And I know that sounds easier or it sounds,
Yeah.
But if you're not
easier than it
vouching
is.
for yourself, no one's going to vouch
or
for
set
you.
Exactly,
your
no.
mind to like goals that you want to accomplish in the next few months, and then say, and then I'm going to ask for a raise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
set yourself some goals, and then be like, okay, by the end of this year, I'm going to ask for a raise because I would have done all of the goals that I intended for myself,
Right.
and then you have a better case. Where if you just one day wake up and you're like, I deserve a raise,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, do you?
Yeah, like,
or
for what?
like you need to plan,
Or are you just, like, doing your job?
or maybe you do. Maybe you really do need the raise. But then I feel like that is something you have to like separate. Like, am I making the money I deserve with the job I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Am I being greedy? Do I feel like I'm getting slighted? Like there
Yeah.
are questions
I
you
feel
have to
like it's
ask
about
yourself.
calling someone's bluff, like on either end, like most of the time.
Right.
Because like you have to be willing to be like, then I'm leaving. Like if they're just fucking you over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
if you're
guess
getting
so.
fucked.
And that's the thing. It's
In-
like, I also think though, that's how most people see it. And it's valid to see it that way, because if you come in and your raise like isn't warranted, or you wanting more money, whatever, you don't deserve that. The thought in your head should be like, well, they can just hire somebody for the same price as me and
Exactly.
replace me, and they're probably not going to complain about the money. Like that's and company. I've been at companies that do that, where it's like they want to keep paying younger kids like the minimum amount, and so if somebody asks for a raise, it becomes like awkward, and then they get pushed out. It's like a whole. It's fucked up that happens, but it does. But what I think, and I wish that I had done growing up, was having just more of an open dialogue about it. Like, why is it so weird to talk about money with your boss? Like, it shouldn't be. Your boss writes your paychecks. Like, they know how much money you make. They know
Right.
the work that you do. Why can't you just go in and be like, listen, I obviously want to make more money. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I would like a raise at some point. I would like to get to that point. Can we talk about what I can do to get this? Or maybe do you want
What's
to
the
put
whole
myself on a
stigma
plan
around talking about money?
Right.
Nobody
like, why
ever
is it
wants
so,
to talk about it.
Exactly. And I think it's with in conversation with people, I think it's different than with your boss.
Yes.
But
Right.
but I think that, yeah, like, why not have that up, or at least let them know that it's on your mind? And then, but again, the fear of like being replaced comes into it, but you can't be always like looking over your shoulder to be replaced. Like
No,
I
right.
feel like I lived so much of my life like that, worrying I was going to be replaced or fired or
So
whatever.
you just take the shitty paycheck.
And yes, you just take it, you deal with it, and you don't say anything. You just like keep your mouth shut, but you can't live your life like that.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
It's a crazy time, crazy thing.
money is scary.
Do you want to know a poor person strategy that I do sometimes
Let's hear it.
that maybe will help other people? Do you guys ever get like Visa gift cards and shit for Christmas?
Yes.
Like all that random shit?
Yes.
I always get those from like my family. My mom's always giving them to us. And honestly, they're like, obviously I'm so grateful to have money, whatever. They're
Yeah.
very annoying because they're like $50 at a time. Like you can't, it's not like you
Yeah.
can put $150, whatever. I'm always laughing about that. But I always save those and use them like in binds. Like when I am like, damn, I'm low on money, or damn, the situation is whatever, I need to order dinner, I need to do something, and all of a sudden I have like a $50 gift card. I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's do this here. It's like found money.
Yeah,
'Cause you don't
yeah.
think
I do
about
that
it.
too. I have like
That's
a whole stack
thing.
from Christmas
Yes,
still.
yeah, same,
So I'm like,
same.
I'm going to use these for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and use them
One
and
day I'll
keep those
need
like
these.
Yeah.
right, keep them for like emergencies, or like even
It
if
feels
you,
like free money.
Maybe you have like
Yeah.
a $25 one. They're like, oh, this is weird, but then
You get
I,
dinner.
like right now, yes, I
Yeah.
have a
You
$25
need an Uber.
Macy's gift card sitting in my house right now for some reason. I have no idea, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to buy at Macy's for $25? And then the other day I was thinking, I was like, actually, I could probably go buy like a pair of sneakers, or like one of those cheap Keds or something like
Yeah.
that, or at least half of a pair or something like that. It's like
Or
you
some
never
fun, silly sunglasses.
yeah, something like whatever.
Yeah.
You never know when you can use it, but with those kind of things, I think that it's smart to like save them versus like spending them
For
silly,
sure.
Like,
don't be like, oh my God, it's Christmas. I'm going in on these gift
yeah,
cards.
like I'm gonna go ball out after Christmas and buy all this shit.
Right.
It's like, no.
No,
Think about
save
it.
them.
Be
Think about it.
strategic.
Keep them in your wallet.
Yep, be
Because what if
strategic.
you're out someday and your credit card or your debit card isn't swiping?
Yes.
You're like, oh my God, wait, I got one of those gift cards. Done.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah,
you
you
don't
never
have to be
know.
embarrassed
They
about
save
it.
your
No.
life a lot. They save your life a lot more than you think. And I
I don't think they're
I thought I would
embarrassing
share that.
at all.
I think they're embarrassing at like a nice restaurant. Like I would never at a
Oh,
nice
no.
restaurant. But otherwise, I'm not.
If you're like
embarrassed.
going out with a crew of friends and you're like, I got a $50 gift card.
Oh yeah, no. I always announce when I have to.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
like-
using the gift card today. Like I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, you can't just like slap that on the table and
No.
stick it
Always.
in with the rest and be like, you got to announce that.
If
Yeah.
you had like all the money in the world, or money was no object, what's the one thing that you would want that's like so expensive? Like what would your life look like? I guess like what would you do?
I would live in Africa on a safari with every exotic animal in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Great. That's a
my
sweet
biggest
thing.
dream ever. I love animals.
I didn't know you loved animals so much. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Very nice.
Elephants.
I would live
Elephants are great.
on this is so typical, a mansion on the beach, and I would have a nice ass car.
Love that.
And not have to do anything at all. Just live around in my beach house, walk around in a bikini, and just live my life like that.
I love that. That's really nice.
Or I'd buy like a sick ass penthouse in New York City.
Yeah, that's more
That'd
my
be
vibe.
cool.
I would
Yeah.
buy a. Well, I'm super rich. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm Chris Angel. I make the most actually.
Yeah. I'm broke.
I want a crazy penthouse. I obviously want it to be at 432 Park. You guys know about this. I want it to be
we
there.
know.
Views.
One of those
Views.
places with those views. But then I also want. Again, I'm super rich. I have my own private island, not like Jeffrey Epstein, and I will fly my friends there all the time. Like that'll be like
That'd be sick.
for like a month at a time. Like every 3
Like
months
that
we go
episode
on a
of
month long
Entourage.
trip. Yeah, but I always am saying that's like the running joke I have with my friends. Like, oh, when I'm rich, I'll fly us all to my private island. Like maybe I won't get that for real, but I eventually in my life, because I've said it to so many of my friends, I would love to like be rich enough to charter a plane and bring us somewhere for like a week. Like how I feel like that's like an attainable goal,
Kylie
right?
Jenner
Yeah.
style.
Yes,
yeah.
like do something
the
like
kid that
that.
invited me to Hawaii. I was
Yes.
like, that's crazy.
Like, I
I
feel
want
like
that money to be
just
able
something
to do that.
just something just to be able to do that, because I feel like especially with money, your friends put up with so much of your shit. Like that's another thing too. If your friends are broke, like you'll get each other back. It'll always even
Yeah.
out. Like it'll always like if your friend is struggling and you want them to come along and you can tell that they're openly struggling about money and like embarrassed by it, like just like they might be too prideful to be like oh no, like I can't afford it, whatever, or they won't ask you if you can like cover it and they can Venmo you later. Like that's another thing my friends and I have gotten into. Like they're like, oh, can you buy the Uber? Like I'll pay when I get
Yes.
paid next week. Like that's always, you got to get in that mindset with your friends. Like I get paid next Tuesday. Can you cover it for a week? Yes, of course.
But I hate
like
the people that just
take advantage.
They lie about that stuff.
I hate
Yeah,
when
that's
people
true. That does
Venmo
happen.
request immediately, and it's something like
Me too.
$5, and you'll get
Oh,
a Venmo
yeah.
request
with
for $5.
the
You're like,
526.
and
Yeah,
and you're just
yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like when I buy something for my friends, or if I'm getting lunch, or if I'm getting dinner, I'm like, I got this. You guys get me the next time we go
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
Like I don't even when we are genuinely splitting something, I don't even care if my friends Venmo me, because I'm like, oh, they'll get me back
Never
another
put
day.
the change on the Venmo.
No.
Yeah, the
No.
change is
People who
crazy.
do that are
That's so
so
scummy.
suspicious.
Change is wild.
or going
Change is
out to
wild.
dinner and they don't just want to split the check evenly. It's like, I got this. I got this.
Yes,
I
yes.
got
Oh,
Well,
no,
I got
that's
this and this
insane.
and
That's
this. It's like,
insane.
well, let's all
Let's
just go
just split
halvesies.
it. Yeah.
That's when it becomes when you get, that's like an age thing. I think when you get to a certain age, like you don't, it's just trashy to be like itemizing a menu to pay
Yeah.
for it. You just split, as if everybody has a job, you just split it evenly.
split
Like,
it.
Right.
and don't order like an asshole. Like that's, I
Yeah.
hate when people do that. When you're at a group dinner and someone orders like lobster bisque and 4 martinis, it's like, okay, well that's top shelf liquor and lobster. So I ordered like
Kids
fettuccine
meal.
Alfredo.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like that.
Vodka soda.
Yes, like be even with everybody else. Like
Yeah.
don't order a porterhouse steak.
And then
like,
if you do that,
ridiculous.
put more money
and
down.
then right, or at least
Feel
say
out
like
the vibes with people.
Yes.
Oh, I got the tip. You know, if you got
Exactly.
more, I'll handle the tip.
Yeah.
100%. That's a great compromise. I'll handle
Yeah.
the tip. If you order too much, you handle the tip. I will say too, for the people who Venmo request $5 immediately though, they like sometimes maybe they need it. You know, sometimes
That's
it's like
true.
they spend $20 and you don't think it. Like there are so many people like. I say this to myself, I'm literally so broke all the time. Like I pretend like I'm not all the time, but I've gotten really good at like moving my money around. But when you like first move to New York and you don't realize that everything costs $1 billion and you're definitely not getting paid enough. No one is paid enough in New York City. No one.
No.
When you realize it and you are still getting in that groove, I was lucky enough to have like friends who also had that going on. So we were all broke, but at like different times. So like
You could help each
Sarah
other out.
could pay for dinner tonight, and then next week I Venmo her and I also get
Yeah.
us dinner because she's broke
Right.
and like whatever. So
Maybe
it's always
not
just like a balancing
$5
act.
because I feel like $5 can get you
Well, $5
somewhere.
is yeah.
Like I heard somebody tell me, it was like $2 and a certain cent
Yep.
percentage
That's
in
insane.
each.
No,
In
I
college,
would never-
when
I
we
would never do
split
that.
toilet paper. Like immediately, one of my roommates would request me for $2.64.
Yeah, see,
No,
but
that's
even
crazy.
like, see, when I had no money in college, I also did the same thing I do now, where it's like I buy this, you buy that.
Me too.
Like,
Yeah.
that
I
type
never
of thing.
like asking. I don't know. I'm awkward.
It's
like,
awkward
can you pay
asking
me that
for money.
money like that. I'm just like
Right.
I
fuck it,
rarely-
I'll-
I will rarely ask
even
as well,
even
yeah.
if I rightfully paid for it and you deserve to
too.
pay me,
I'm
I'm
just
more
like,
so
you
like
should
just scared
know
to ask.
that-
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if I ever owe someone money, I'm paying you back immediately. So I just have the same mentality that
Right.
people would do the same back to me, but they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't.
Just
and those,
aren't the
and you're
same.
right. Those are the people that I don't love. That
Yeah.
kind of that take advantage of the situation. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, like I'm doing something polite, and you've done something polite for me, and in return, can we maybe just like keep up this level of polite? Don't fucking forget about me because I can't pay my cable bill.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
Exactly.
You never know.
It's like,
with
oh,
money,
my
you always
Venmo's
have to
not
think
working right
about.
now.
I feel like people are very
Yes, it
selfish
is.
about money, and they should think about other people more.
Yeah,
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
100%.
A little bit. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Goddamn money.
More money, more problems.
More money, more
money,
problems.
more problems.
More
For
money,
real.
more fucking
For
problems.
real.
More money, more problems. Do you want to listen to some voicemails, ladies?
Yeah, let's
Let's
do
do it.
voicemails.
Okay. All right, everyone, let's get into the voicemails portion of our episode. As always, I love when you call in. It's a flush of voicemails every single time. I say this always, but we really appreciate it. I love hearing from you. We all love hearing from you. So let's get into a couple of these. Play Magic Lover, Noah.
Ooh, magic lover.
Magic.
Hey girls, just wanted to call and talk about magic and the bad rap that guys seem to have if they practice it. I admittedly had a crush on someone that practiced magic after college. He actually went to my high school, and I didn't know him at the time, but one of my friends did. After we had all gone to college, graduated, moved back home, and started going out to the bars, she ran into him, and she was like, "Oh, this is so-and-so." And she was like, "He used to do magic back in high school." And out of nowhere, he busted out a deck of cards and started doing magic tricks. And from then on, for years, every time we saw him out at the bars, he would bust out his deck of cards and do magic tricks. And I don't know what it was, but chicks flocked to him, and I had the biggest crush on this magic guy. And it's honestly embarrassing, but there was something about it that was so oddly sexy.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's start.
Magicians are ladies, man.
Yeah, let's start it. Magic is sexy.
Yeah, magic is sexy.
Magic is
sure. Magic is sexy.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, she's not wrong. We talked about it a little bit before. Honestly, all the voicemails we kind of touched on, but the this idea of are magicians hot? They kind of.
They're mysterious.
They're
Yeah.
I think it
mysterious.
definitely depends on
It depends on the person and what you look like.
For sure. Yeah.
Being honest.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean,
David Blaine's
you're a
like
little
cool about it. If you're
creepy
like,
person.
oh, look at
I'm a
these.
magician
Yes.
and I'm
Yeah,
a
that's lame.
weirdo.
You can't have that. But I love this guy though. Once a magician, always a magician. He's
Yeah,
ready
if
to
you're
go.
doing, hot card
Years later,
tricks.
he's still got the cards in his back pocket. He's ready to
And
impress some bitches.
he
little
knows some
hobby.
girls are going to flock to him. Not all,
100%.
maybe, but
Not all.
some are going to be like,
He knows
wow,
it
magic.
works.
I'm into it.
Completely.
It's a
They're
great
can you teach me?
conversation
Yep.
starter.
I have a video. If I can get my hands on it somehow, I don't know. It's this guy I used to hook up with in college, and my friend took this video of me so drunk. He was doing a card trick. We were all drunk. He was doing a card trick to me, and I was so obsessed with him. And I'm sitting there taking it away, looking up at him as if he is God himself. That is how enamored I was with him doing this card trick. And I have to get my hands on the
need
video.
this video.
I have to go. I'll figure it out. But that's I think about that every time we hear or we've been talking about this. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it, because I was mesmerized by this man.
Makes sense.
Just doing a sleight of hand with cards.
Yeah.
I just was dead over it. Okay, now let's do money buying happiness.
Hey ladies, what's up? My name's Christina. Love the pod. So I want to talk about money. So you hear people always saying money can't buy you happiness. But I personally think that's a bunch of bullshit. I've been in my young 20s, struggling poor, scrambling money together to pay rent. And, now I'm successful and I have the money to comfortably pay my bills, go travel, shop, do whatever I want. And I definitely have to say that money buys you happiness. It really does. If you're poor, you're struggling and it brings stress. Money, your bills are paid, you get to enjoy life and kind of do whatever you want. So yeah, I don't know. I think money buys you happiness. Love to hear what you ladies think. Love ya. Yeah.
Definitely great
I
points.
agree.
And I also
Yeah.
feel like money can cause a lot of problems in relationships. We didn't touch on that, but I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like a lot of divorces happen with couples who are fighting
Yeah.
over money, and that's a big stress factor for some people
Yeah, for
in
sure.
relationships, and I feel like it can be a deal breaker. So if you are comfortable, right, and you have enough money you're in a relationship or you're married, then that deletes one of the problems that you could possibly have.
Right,
Stress.
yeah.
Because I feel like
Right, it's
there's
just more weight
I
off your
remember
chest.
my parents yelling about money when I was growing up all
For
the
sure.
time, and I feel like that's something that people stress out over big. I think it's one of the
Definitely.
biggest things that people stress over, obviously, because
I would almost
the
say
world
the biggest.
is
It's what is more
the
stressful.
world is made off of money. You
Yeah.
need money to
Yep.
survive.
It's
You
crazy.
literally even it's crazy, but tampons cost money. If you have
Yo.
your period,
do
you
not
need
get
to
me started on
fucking
tampons
pay
costing
for
money.
tampons. We didn't ask to have our periods.
No.
And birth control too. You need
Yeah,
to pay
you
for
need
it.
to
Birth
pay
control,
for
yeah.
all these things. It's crazy.
It's wild. The
Healthcare,
tampon thing
it's crazy.
that kills me. The tampon thing, and they're expensive. Tampons are fucking expensive.
Tampons
they're
and
not-
toilet paper and all that shit should be free.
It really,
right?
it really should.
That's a
I don't know
necessity.
how, right? I don't know how we could make that possible for it to be free. And I know that especially tampons, there's always the argument of use other things, use the Diva cup, use this, use that. I'm like, okay, sure. The convenience of tampons is just. I mean,
Maybe
I'm
I
using
don't want a
tampons for
cup
30
of my
years.
blood stuck
Right.
in
I like
I'm
a
not
tampon.
suddenly going to figure that out. I hear horror stories about it being suctioning out your. No,
Yeah.
I can't have all that. But you're right. It's it's a crazy thing. And I think too that in relationships, a lot of people, we didn't talk about this either. A lot of people get married for monetary reasons. They'll get married, they'll marry for money, or they'll,
right.
that extra security, or maybe it's a young lady marrying an old guy.
One of my
for his
friends growing
cashola.
up, her mom, they were getting a divorce, and her mom was like, well, you know what they say, first marry for love and then marry for money. I was like, oh, that's kind of smart.
That sounds like a Real Housewives quote.
Yeah, that would be like my intro.
Yes. First marry for love, then marry for money. I love it.
All right, let's do our last one.
Last one. Murderer friends.
What?
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name's Kayla. I am obsessed with the podcast. I look forward to it every single week, and I'm calling about the murder topic because every day I go into work and work with men who have murdered. I work at a forensic psychiatric hospital, and so everyone there has some kind of criminal charge along with a mental health diagnosis of some kind. And what I think is interesting about it is that a lot of these people have committed obviously very serious crimes, allegedly, such as murder, and also they're very funny and nice and good at chess, and I have a pretty good time with them. So, yeah, keep being awesome. Love you guys. Bye.
I thought that was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Murderers
interesting
are
job.
people
She
brought
too.
up the fact that obviously murderers have a mental health diagnosis of some sort, right?
Yes.
But has there ever been a murder? Because why would you murder somebody if you didn't?
Yeah.
Right. But has there ever been a murderer where they've done an analysis and they've been like, well, they're clean, like their brain is functioning properly. They don't.
I say all the people that are like, that's the difference between going to jail and going to a psych hospital like this. Like if there's nothing wrong with you, like mentally, seemingly, like if you're not,
You just go to jail?
where you've been
Really?
analyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go to jail because you're
And I'm
fucked.
sure, right? You're fucked up.
I
But
envisioned every murderer having something.
well,
some
that's the
sort
thing
of,
is like they do,
diagnosis.
they probably do, but I think that they only. There's like a threshold to get into a psychiatric
if you're
hospital. Like if you are
schizophrenic and you murder someone, you go to
right.
Right.
But it like.
But there's
If
like
you just
levels to
murder
mental
somebody, but
illness.
you're not schizophrenic,
Say you're
and
like
you're not
if you're like
bipolar.
say you
or-
are bipolar, I feel like you wouldn't be put in a mental hospital.
No,
They
you'd
would
go to jail.
You'd go to
Yeah,
jail,
prison.
and they'd medicate you in jail probably.
Huh.
Like if they can medicate you in jail, they'll send you there.
you there.
If you need like watch and like your
Yeah.
suicide risk, like all that
Yeah.
shit, they'll put you in.
because that's like
in
the easy way out.
yeah.
Technically,
They'll put you in a psych hospital. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. Listen, murderers can be charming.
Yep. we
no-
talked
there's-
about it. We talked about it. Murderers can be
Plain and
charming.
simple.
Murderers are like kind of smart. You
They
know,
can be
like
good at chess.
Some murderers are smart. Others are stupid.
The ones
They
that
can
get
be good
away
at
with
chess.
it
The ones that get away with it are smart.
Are really smart.
It's crazy, but okay.
Okay,
I
we're
think
not
that-
crediting them.
Yeah,
but
so we're
they're-
not crediting
No,
them.
no.
We're trying to. Yeah, we're accidentally
Murder
turning this into like
bad.
a pro
Yeah,
murder
it's like
podcast.
murder.
Murder's bad. Don't murder anybody.
Don't
Like,
murder
please
anybody.
don't.
We don't condone
Please don't do it.
murdering.
Exactly. But I think that about wraps it up. I think that we had, like I said, a lot of great callers, a lot of good stories. We have to do an all voicemail episode one of these days. We keep saying it.
We'll do
gotta
it on YouTube.
We'll do it on YouTube. It'll be a YouTube thing. We'll definitely get it out eventually, and we'll just go across the board because we just have so many people coming
Maybe we'll
through.
do a live thing on YouTube.
Yeah, that'll be
possibly.
super fun.
That'd be
But
fun.
if you want to call in for next time, the number is 555-258-3436. So get yourself ready to call in for next week.
hell yeah. Okay, it is the final week 3 of our monologue battle for the table reads. It is my turn. I'm doing like the longest scene out of everyone, so I have lots of opportunity to fuck up. I'm doing the Jordan Belfort scene where he just goes fucking crazy. I got to put my mad dog face on and go beast mode.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see this go. Let's
All right.
see this beast mode action from you, Brie.
I'm really kind of scared for this, but let's fucking do it.
All right.
All right.
And?
Jesus, this is like so long.
Okay. You're gonna.
You
crush it.
chose this.
I know. I didn't know it was this long.
You put this on yourself.
You're gonna crush it.
Now perform.
Okay.
Now perform. Sing for me.
Okay. We're
Act
ready?
like
Anybody
we're
out there
casting
reference? In
directors.
case anybody's
Yeah.
Wondering.
Yep. Kelly and I are casting directors.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
2 casting directors that are the biggest in Hollywood.
Yeah.
People come to us and they beg
That's
us
making
for
me
jobs.
more nervous.
We give the
Yeah.
actors to Quentin Tarantino.
My time is money.
He comes to us and he says, "Who should I put in my films?" We told him Leo, Margot, Brad. We gave him those people. So
True. My time is money. Also, this recording. So let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Ready?
All right.
And action.
See those little black boxes? They're called telephones. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about these telephones. They're not going to dial themselves, okay? Without you, they're just worthless hunk of plastic, like a loaded M16 without a trained Marine to pull the trigger. And in the case of the telephone, it's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites, my killers who will take not no for an answer, my fucking warriors who will not hang up the phone until their client either fucking buys or dies! Let me tell you something. There's no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man, and I've been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time. Because at least as a rich man, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold fucking watch. Now, if anyone here thinks I'm superficial or materialistic, go get a job at fucking McDonald's because that's where you fucking belong. But before you depart this room full of winners, I want you to take a good look at the person next to you. Go on, take a look. Because sometime in the not so distant future, you're pulling up to a red light in your beat up old fucking Pinto. And that person's gonna be pulling up right alongside you in a brand new Porsche with their beautiful wife by their side who's got big, voluptuous tits. And who'll you be next to? Some disgusting wildebeest with 3 days of razor stubble and a sleeveless moo-moo crammed in? I'm shaking so much.
You're so into it.
I'm just gonna put it down.
Jordan,
Okay.
it's cool, Jordan. Don't worry about it.
Just don't take Adderall before the podcast.
So good. It's so good.
I couldn't even read it. Okay. And who will you be next to? Some disgusting wildebeest with 3 days of razor stubble and a sleeveless moo-moo crammed in next to you with a carload full of groceries from the fucking Price Club. That's who you're going to be sitting next to. So you listen to me, and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a worthless fucking loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich. All you have to do is pick up that phone and speak the words that I've taught to you, and I'll make you richer than the most powerful CEO of the United States of fucking America. I want you to go out there, and I want you to ram Steve Madden stock down your clients' throats till they fucking choke on it, till they choke on it and buy 100,000 shares. That's what I want you to do. You'll be ferocious. You'll be relentless. You'll be telephone fucking terrorist. Now let's knock this motherfucker out of the park! Ah! Oh, wow. That was a lot.
Wow.
That was awesome.
That was a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
Awesome.
Really a lot.
That was
Wow.
really good.
All right.
I felt you shaking.
I'm still
That
shaking.
was-
Okay?
that
I'm
was
still. I
fantastic.
actually am not sweating.
Get her some
Yeah,
water.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
need you take a
She's
sip of your water
dehydrated. I
bottle.
need some liquid IV.
So good. If I am even a little bit as good as both of you are, I
think
we
we all
all have to
kinda
go to
killed
fucking
it.
Hollywood. Like
I think
that's
we
what
all
mean.
killed it.
Like
My problem would be memorization. I don't get how people do that. Like Kelly, you're good on that.
No, but if
That's
you
just an
practice
OCD.
and practice and practice,
Yeah,
you
that's
would
true.
remember. That
Sit
was the
there and
first time you
memorize
read that
it.
thing.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, that was
No, it's
fantastic.
time to-
Fantastic.
I just
Oh.
was thinking like, fuck, I have
Fuck,
to
he has
give
to
it
pick
to
the
you now.
award.
You
right
have to pick
now.
the winner
Oh.
now.
oh
God.
shit!
We're
That's
three
hard.
episodes
Oh,
deep
that's
on the
so hard.
monologues.
All right.
Who's he
Fuck.
gonna pick?
All right, no hard feelings. No, we
Yeah,
understand.
maybe give out some
This is
participation
the
awards.
most pressure.
This
This is a lot of pressure.
So
I
far
know.
on this podcast.
I
This is a
know.
lot.
Fuck.
We understand. But again, remember,
Maybe start off by like
hard
complimenting
feelings.
us each, and then giving it
give
to
us
them.
compliment
But
each
I've
of
already
us on our
complimented you, I
abilities,
feel
and then
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess
guess
that's
so.
true.
But giving
Like
a nice
you know, you all
recap.
killed it. It's just about who killed it the most.
Yeah.
Right.
it's true. It's
right.
so true. Oh,
Should I start in reverse order to make it more suspenseful?
yes.
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 Give a third place.
Oh, no, because I don't.
Oh.
I don't want to make. Yeah, I don't want to.
You
Oh,
could.
true,
we
true.
gotta learn.
Yeah, we could do third.
I
second.
don't know,
feel
that's-
bad giving
yeah.
a third.
Okay,
place.
okay.
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 All right.
Fuck.
No hard feelings now.
What will he choose? The Joker, the CEO, or the lawyer? Why so serious? Buy a fucking die!
At the risk of deactivating the ammonium glycolate?
It really could go like.
It
oh,
really
fuck.
could.
Do we let
The people decide.
Should we let the people decide
Maybe we
on
should.
No, but if they
Good.
let the people decide, they may go recency bias. No offense to Bree, because I
'cause
I
you
almost
would've been
feel like
3
No,
weeks
no,
ago.
but we could put it on Instagram and have them decide, like all 3 clips.
I guess so.
If Noah doesn't,
I'm
wanna
just.
pick.
listen, I'm just feeling a little bit scared because of how short mine was.
I don't
No, it
think
doesn't
that
matter.
has to
Short
do with
doesn't
it.
length
matter.
doesn't matter. I
Length
don't
doesn't
think.
matter.
Yeah,
It was
I don't think length
performance.
matters.
It was about performance.
Right.
Yes, you're
Both
right.
of your performances, I felt in my soul.
Shook you to your core.
Yes, I wanna say that.
Okay.
They were both fantastic.
All right. I'm gonna just say mine, and then maybe you do a separate audience.
Okay.
We should have the
We can let
audience
Noah
vote just
pick
to have
and the
them
audience.
be
How about
involved.
this? Let's have the audience vote. We will have Noah rate us now. We won't include this, maybe. And then we'll include it later and be like, what's the audience vote? And then we'll have a clip that is Noah's final
Right.
vote.
Noah's, what
Yeah.
did
Do you think
Noah
I would
pick?
really
Did we-
influence people? I feel like they'd
Yes,
be like, oh,
I
he's
think you
wrong.
Yes.
definitely would influence
Yes.
people. Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
You are the producer.
So as of now, we're giving it to the audience. But then check out our Instagram for
Yeah.
Noah's final vote.
Yeah, go to BC We Got High and see all of our clips and then vote
Yes.
on who you think.